All right, so hello everybody. Welcome to Main Chat Nerd Night, where a bunch of us get together and we play some Dungeons and Dragons. Now, I'm going to do a really quick recap. A couple of sessions ago, the group arrived at a previously thought abandoned fort by the name of Gromkeep. Turned out it wasn't abandoned; it had been sort of moved into by a group of Kenku. They spent a little bit of time with these Kenku. Tyorrgeth went off and did some mercenary work for a bit and came back a little richer. And then the apparent surrogate mother caretaker of the Kenku came back, a Corvid by the name of Dino Mantherin. She had some very pointed questions for Kledash, and Kledash ended up showing her a blueprint that he had stolen from the prison that he had broken out of. And she was very nervous about what she believed to be the blueprint for some kind of very powerful magical weapon. However, she's not an expert in this sort of field, so she sent them to go speak to... Oh, fuck, I left that notebook in the other room. Hang on one second.
He's drunk! He's drunk!
I am not drunk. I just left the notebook in my bookshelf instead of bringing it over. Because I have 5 notebooks now. Anyway, his name
And only one of them filled with notes.
Anaxi Zeferis. She sent you off to meet a gnome friend of hers by the name of Anaxi Zeferis, who could then get them in contact with a gnomish inventor by the name of Qualish, who is perhaps their best bet at figuring out how to, 1, what it is, and 2, how to stop it. She sent you guys, she gave you a map to go through the Great Swamp, which would avoid going through the Kingdom of Sundi, as Kledash is a wanted man. And you spent 2 days on your travel. The first night, you noticed a group of frog-like entities, bullywugs, were tracking you. On the second night, the first night they didn't attack because Vania set up a cordon of arrows and chased them off. The second night, the cordon of arrows was forgotten, and the bullywugs attempted to attack and were almost immediately killed or driven away.
We destroyed them!
It was pretty fast.
There was one that got away.
So there's one that got
We
away.
let him get away.
So
And he's gonna be
We
the
let
big
him
bad
get
evil
away.
guy.
So we join back in. Yeah, we come back to our group. At the end of that combat, it's in the pretty wee hours of the morning. It's hard to tell with the trees and the swamp being this dense, but it's definitely well past midnight at this point. Who was on? I believe Vania, you were on guard when all this went down.
Yeah, Yep,
So,
I have
so
last
you'd
watch.
know you're at about hours 6 of 8 of your watch. So it's pretty early in the morning. You've looted the bodies for whatever they had, which was not a lot because bullywugs are piss poor.
I think it was like loincloths and some shitty spears.
What would you guys like to do? Sorry, you
Let's
were at
pack the camp.
hour 2 of 4 of your watch because you split up the watches into 4-hour blocks. That's right.
Let's-
No one long rested, are they?
was
Who is everyone long rested?
No.
No.
I would say
Red.
I'd say you're all long rested. Efferil, because of the way your watch works, I'd say you'd be able to get a long rest in that period.
I thought my long rest would have been interrupted. We were interrupted like 6 out of 8 hours, wasn't it?
So
And I
you'd
took
be
first watch.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I'm actually, you know what, I'm going to have you make a constitution saving throw to see if you experience exhaustion.
Yeah, fuck, I need to roll my dice.
And that is
I
going to
actually
be
need to roll dice.
That's going to be everyone except Vania. I'm going to need you to roll a
I
constitution
don't think it was high
saving
enough.
throw.
10, I don't think it's high enough.
10's enough. 10's the DC.
Oh. You're just making it 50-50. Fair enough.
Yeah, grab out my d20.
And then it goes up by 1
Well,
every
it's
day
only
that
a
you...
50-50 if you...
13.
13, okay. And then the way
I down an energy drink and power through it.
I got a 17.
Yeah, 17,
Energy drinks
okay.
don't exist in this,
And
do they?
I'm pretty certain that's what I hate about health
Tier-
potion is.
Tyorrgeth?
It's just a counter monster.
Tyorrgeth, what was your save?
Alright.
That is 16.
16, okay. So none of you experienced the exhaustion. You do feel that you're getting on, and you imagine the next time you have to do this, if you decide not to take another a full long rest, it will be more difficult next time, but you are able to power through just the feeling, the tiredness that you're feeling.
I mean, are we in any rush? We could just take another long rest. Or nap.
Finish the long rest.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go back, you lose an hour, so you'd be an hour behind, but I'd say you'd be able to do a quick and just finish off the last 2 hours.
Just nap, yeah.
Probably
Yeah. Okay.
So in which case, disregard even having to roll at all.
All right, guys.
mean- We'd be saving like an hour or two. We can nap.
Yeah, get back to bed. Get back to bed. We shouldn't lose
Although-
too much time.
I mean,
Asterisk.
we've already made our saves.
Although, asterisk, the
Yeah,
dome.
we all did it.
Yeah, the dome fades in an hour, so
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
That's true.
it only lasts 8 hours.
You're rocking and rolling.
Okay. So you guys get your things together, get your armor back on. Those of you who weren't wearing armor because you were busy sleeping. You hitch your horses back up, and you get back. What's up?
or those who just don't wear armor.
Yeah, or those of you who don't wear armor. Your armor is your extreme aggression.
I refuse to acknowledge the existence of armor.
Alrighty. So, what's going to be the sort of marching order per se? As before, it's sometimes wide enough for two, but it's really only wide enough for one in order.
What were we last week?
I think Vania had points. I had points.
I want to say Kledash was probably
I
second
went-
because he has the map.
And I went.
Right?
I think I was in the
that's-
middle, wasn't I?
I remember Dásos being in the rear.
Dásos taking
Oh,
up
there
the
we go
rear.
then.
Why was I in the rear?
And I was behind Kledash.
If you want to change it up, let me know.
I don't think it matters in the long run.
Alright.
I really don't think it matters.
So that's going to be your... I'm going to space them out a little more, but... So there's your marching order. As you're going forward. So, making your way toward your next sort of checkpoint, as it were. If I could have... Well, so... Who's navigating, I should say? I assume
The guy with the
Vania.
map, probably.
Kledash.
Oh.
So whoever's navigating, I just need you to make a survival check to read where on the map you are to make sure that the directions you're giving are accurate.
Can any of us assist him on that?
I would say, Vania, you probably can because that's well
Yeah.
within your skill set.
Okay.
Could try. It's a -1.
Darn
To
it, I
assist?
don't have.
If you have
I
proficiency,
know for you.
if you have proficiency in survival, you can assist. If you don't, then you can't.
Oh,
Rolling a 14 on the assist.
I'm proficient in survival.
You don't have to worry about
Doesn't.
rolling for the assists. It
It
just,
should
it
be
just
fine,
gives
it's an
them
18.
advantage.
Oh
18?
right, yeah, that's
Okay.
a Pathfinder thing.
So let me-
Assistance
I'm gonna
is you just
help
roll
out
with
too.
advantage.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
So it doesn't
help
matter.
out too.
Right.
You're gonna-
No, I'm
okay.
thinking
Oh.
Pathfinder. Excuse me.
Dasos,
You got an
Dasos-
18? How about my 22, dumbass?
Well, it's too late because that's not how it works. So, but the 18 was enough. You are able to localize where you are. You're right about there. It's been about 2 days travel. You do see that you're coming up to two things. One, an area that's marked as being particularly troublesome, marshy. Like this isn't it's a swamp, so these aren't exactly rivers per se, but these are areas that are wetter and damper than others. Except for some small patches of flowing water, one of which you experienced in the previous day. So that's, you're getting into this area, and you're getting into a waypoint here that is marked in some kind of writing that you can't read. So, continuing on. What's up?
Do we recognize the language? Can we make a check to try and understand the language, or is that just marks?
Make an intelligence check.
Well, that's my lowest skill, so that's not a good idea. I think it's a 17. Yeah, 17.
17. Okay. You're not incredibly well versed in the languages of the world per se. You do recognize it as a language. You don't recognize the language itself.
That looks like Foreignese to me.
Like when you're looking at all of them, you do notice a couple of similarities, and some of the glyphs are the same. So it definitely is a language, but it's not a language you're familiar with, unfortunately.
Anyone got comprehend languages?
No. I think.
As a matter of
I think
fact,
our.
Did I do? Okay. Let's see here.
Does comprehend languages work on written language?
I'm about to look that up. Let's see here.
Comprehend languages. The literal meaning of any spoken language. You can also understand any written language.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
Okay. Let's do it then.
Mix some idioms in.
Okay.
Cast comprehend languages.
So you cast comprehend languages, and then you.
Wait, that'd be slick as hell if there are a bunch of idioms littered like throughout it, so we like can't get it.
It is a map though, so unfortunately. But okay, so you take the map from Kledash because you do have to be touching the surface that you're reading, and after a little bit, it takes a little bit for the magic to sort of really take hold, but you are now able to read what these words are. That says Gromkeep. That says, oh, I forgot what that one says. Hold on, I gotta get my little
Take
guide
out
out.
the actual map.
We've confused the GM.
That one's Gromkeep. That one says Troll. That one, I'll just do the ones I remember first. That one says Scarlet Brotherhood, which most of you who have been living in this world, you recognize. Scarlet Brotherhood is like the Illuminati. It's sort of rumored that they control everything.
Can we assume that Kledash would write that down in common so that we can understand it? Therefore, you now must efface the map.
Hang on, who's doing this? Who has comprehend languages?
Kledash,
Kledash, yep.
Kledash, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I'm already taking notes, so.
You cast the comprehend languages. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'd recognize Gromkeep, Troll.
Hang on, we need that in common.
It is in common. Fuck off. That one is. I gotta find the thing. Oh, Tomb. That one is. I think it's IR. Oh. That's not an I. That is a. So this one's a little harder because the literal glyphs translate out to I, R, M, T. But you don't know what that means. You just know the meaning of the glyphs. That one. Oh, jeez. I probably should have written down what they meant, huh?
Yeah, probably.
A U R M A E. Which one is that? N? Well, either way, I forget what the exact word is, but oh, because that is a G, and I just wrote it really poorly.
Like I said, we need it in common.
So it's it was Grenayan. You also don't know the meaning of the word, but you know the meaning of the letters. Greaene. What am I saying? Grenaen. But you don't know the meaning of the word. You just know what the glyphs translate over to. Because it doesn't. It comes up and you read it in common, but that's not a common word you know.
Interesting.
But of note, the map is deliberately avoiding all of these points.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
And then this is north, south, east, west.
Yes. Oh, this world's a version of that.
No,
I don't even know what
those
on
are-
a globe.
Those are the coordinate. They use the same ordinals.
Are you on a globe? I don't actually know. Like this world. Is it a world or a plane?
Earth. It's a world. It's a globe.
Yeah.
So.
I want to start a flat Earth society now, or a flat.
I'm a flat earther.
Earth. It's literally OERTH. Earth. So that was IRMT and.
The O stands for oval. It's an oval Earth.
There. So they're in the text chat now.
All right.
Right on.
But this one and this one, Tomb and Troll, translate
Okay.
right over to common. And Gromkeep, even though that's a name, not a word.
So after comprehending everything that's on the map, Kledash will just sort of get Vania's attention. Okay, so taking a look here at the map, there's some pretty obvious stuff. There's a tomb underneath. We're not going to get anywhere close to. There's two things here I don't understand. But there's definitely one thing, and apparently up ahead we're going to be hitting a troll, and we've got a little mark to go around it too.
We could kill the troll.
Sorry,
Could
he's
we
getting
though?
character. I don't think that would be a good idea.
I agree with this assessment.
Fair
I would
enough.
rather. This is not ideal fighting terrain. As much as possible, you should avoid fighting.
Yeah, so it's okay though. She marked her way around it, so we should be fine. Unless we,
Good.
I don't know, get to something like a bridge.
Good. Then keep us on that path then.
I feel like
That
we're
is
gonna
boring
find
when
a
the GM laughs.
No,
Dude, was
that was good. I wasn't expecting that. I like that.
What? Going
The
around
bridge,
troll?
I'm assuming.
Because trolls and bridges.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't get that one.
Anyway,
I'm now just getting it. God damn
So-
it.
And you made it.
so after
Anyway.
after comprehending the map, we
Wait, so we're like 100% sure that the troll on the map is literally a troll. Like it is literally. I'm asking this of the group of characters. Like we think the fact that it has troll written on the map, it's not like indicating a place or anything like that. It literally means a troll lives here.
Well, I mean, unless we go there when we meet Rick Astley.
yeah.
I'd
I've never
Could have been
not
an
made
internet
it.
troll. No,
Yeah.
I just mean
There's
like
no reason
it
to
couldn't
say
be a
there's
label
not
for
going to be a troll.
place or like a river named troll. I don't know, something like that. We think it's like literally is a troll.
Well,
that's
there's a
my
reason-
initial thought.
Okay.
I mean, I would think that's be the most likely reason where we're going around it. If not a single troll, probably like a village or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just weird because I feel like for the most part they were names of places. They are names of places, and there's like kind of conspicuously like, were there any other ones that were like that? That were more like landmarks or things that are there?
Tomb.
Tomb,
That's an
yeah,
obvious
okay,
one.
okay, yeah. Sorry, I can't. I grew up with this person. I still can't read this handwriting.
ha ha ha.
No, it's.
I know it's
It's not
not
as bad
a
as
joke.
mom's, but you're getting there.
Here, TOMB. Christ.
Good, thank you.
And I put the ones that aren't words that you know in the text chat. So.
All right, awesome, thanks. Yeah, I wasn't trying to be difficult. I just wanted to make sure we were.
To be honest, it's part of the angle and makes it look like Tom's.
Beware, Tom Nook lives here.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
gonna
Jesus.
steal all your bells.
Wait, can I have a quick
bells.
aside? Who is Tom Nook? I keep seeing memes about Tom Nook.
It's from Animal
It's
Crossing.
an Animal Crossing thing?
It's
Oh,
from
okay.
Animal Crossing.
Hide your bells, hide your turnips. Alright, so. What's the plan?
Fucking turn off WhatsApp, because
Say the plan is just to follow the map.
Same as it always was. Follow the person with the map.
Now we know what we're avoiding.
I mean, we could divert to that tomb. Might be
Why would we do this?
I don't know.
interesting loot.
I think
However,
we have a bit more
I do not
pressing
believe-
matters, don't we?
That's a good idea. Merely pointing out options.
We are trying to.
Well, I think it's a piss poor option.
I'd say we just keep to the map and go.
Yeah, I think
from there.
it's a map. It's an old map, right? These things aren't going anywhere. We can always come back. I don't think it's a terrible idea to go tomb diving someday, but not right now.
Then
Right.
let us plow onward.
Let's go to the tomb. Safe.
No, we're not going to the tomb.
Tomb
Not
of Annihilation.
now. When it's
God.
the world's not at stake. You didn't even listen to the full sentence.
We're
So,
venturing
Yeah.
forward.
Wait, are we
Okay,
convinced that
cool.
the world is at stake at this point?
so Dino.
I mean, world.
That's right, because you weren't here for this description.
I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I heard it's a magical creation of some consequence, but we're talking.
It could, from what Dino said, it sounds pretty world destroyed.
Okay, cool. All right, all right, we're all on the same page then.
As far as
So
the
there's-
world, it's a
The
giant
world's at risk.
big
Let's get moving. Hey, let's go. Why are we talking about the tomb then? Let's get moving, huh?
So just for reference, the description you were given by Dino is she wasn't sure, but she believed that if said weapon were utilized, it would wipe out an area of the world from Dullstrand to the Barrier Peaks, which is an area of about 6,000 square miles.
That's
So-
not a world. I think it's serious. I agree with your assessment that we should keep moving and not go to the tomb. But to be clear, that's not a world. All right.
Just Detroit.
Yeah, this is the Star Wars day, right? Like we've seen things that destroy worlds in that. Oh! I spilled my water everywhere.
It's no bomb,
Oh!
it's a space station.
That's what you get for being being difficult.
Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah,
this
let's
is what I
let's plow onwards because
My whole
this
printer.
is
Let's get a move on.
water.
Alrighty, so you guys
this is
continue
potentially
on.
nuclear apocalypse level threat that we're dealing with right now.
Alrighty, so you
Actually,
guys
worse.
You guys continue on forward, getting to the portion of the map, following Vania's guidance with Kledash sort of navigating with the map. You guys make your way through, and it's becoming less and less of a path. So you do have to stop a few times just to get your bearings. But Vania, actually, could I have you make a survival check with advantage because Kledash is assisting you?
22.
22. All right, yeah. So it doesn't take long. You do have to stop a few times, but it's not anything major. You do notice the part of the map that is marked as being more marshy and wet is most definitely that. The horses are having a little bit of difficulty keeping up full pace, thanks to Vania's skill and Dásos's familiarity with his horse in particular, but he's also been assisting the others throughout. You do manage to keep up your pace pretty well. Now, are you guys moving? You have three options for moving your movement pace. You have a normal speed, you can be moving quickly, or you can be trying to move stealthily. Which of those three
I
would
say
you guys
regular
like
speed.
to go?
Moving quickly invites danger in this difficult terrain.
I would just say normally. There's no reason to go one way or the other.
Normal speed.
Okay, so you're going at a normal speed. So you go throughout the day.
Normal speed ahead.
Wait,
I'll-
would there be any utility to like one of us going ahead a little bit and then everyone else kind of following behind. Just because like my horse is like special compared to everyone else's, and I have better handling. Well, no, never mind, because I can't be in front. I was gonna say it might make sense for like me to be a little bit ahead and then everyone else following behind, but I don't have the map. Never mind. Dumb idea.
I will say, as you guys are going along, are you guys keeping an eye out for stuff?
I mean, obviously, yes.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
hope we are.
I'll say designate 2 people. Those will be the people looking out. Vania, you're busy navigating, so it can't be you.
I would say Kledash is doing the same, so that wouldn't be a good idea.
Okay.
All right, I'll do it.
Okay, so
I'll be
Dásos.
one of them, and I guess I'm in the back, so I'll be looking largely behind us.
Okay.
I got a
Up front,
12.
I'll-
12.
I'll-
And Tyorrgeth. Oh, you might kind of cut out there for a second.
I got an 8.
You got an 8.
Ooh.
Okay, so we're working with a 12 and an 8. Alrighty. So, as you guys are going along, the weather, you can see above you, the weather's starting to turn slightly. It is getting darker a little bit before you thought you would. And you can see through the small little peaks you can get up through the foliage, it is clouds are starting to roll in. Looking around, you don't really notice anything particularly of note throughout the day's travel. You do notice as it's starting to get very dark, the trees start to space out slightly. Not much, but just a little bit. But the foliage is the same cover, so the trees are going larger. There's just fewer of them.
Can I insight check the swamp?
No.
Damn.
Um.
Because I don't trust that.
So you're traveling through the day, and by your best estimate, so Vania, you'd probably be the best one for this. By your best estimate, it's roughly evening now. You guys want to? What is your plan as the day starts to roll into the evening?
All right, lads and lasses, the night approaches. You could probably try to keep going, but I think settling down for the night would be. I think we should settle down for the night. Let's keep our eyes out for a good camping spot, and let's set up camp.
And keep our eyes out. There might be some trolls around here.
Agreed.
Right, we're in that area, aren't we?
So, okay. So, I'll say, was that Vania that made the decision? I think.
I don't
Yeah.
hear any objections, so yeah.
It seems
Okay.
to be a
Find a
group
nice spot.
indecision.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna have
I agree.
Vania make a second survival check just to see if you can find a good place to stop. As noted, the trees are getting a little bit further spaced apart, but they're just larger now.
Another 22. Thank you,
Jesus.
dice.
Okay. Yeah. When you get to the clearing, you actually find it's a nice little clearing that's a little bit off your path. You kind of walk over toward it, and the plant life, like the underbrush, is pretty thick. But otherwise, it seems to be pretty good. A good place to bed down. You look around, and thanks to your dark vision, you're able to sort of suss out any potential angles of attack, as it were. And it looks like it's going to be the best you're going to get in this environment.
All right. It's not the best, but or it's not ideal, but it looks like it's the best we got. Right here, ladies and gents.
Okay. Let's get ourselves a campfire going, and after that, I'll do my thing.
Okay.
And I won't forget to set up security this time. My apologies for last time.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, with the There's enough in you. There's enough of you in there who are proficient in survival. You are able to find enough dead wood and dried brush and stuff, and you're able to start a small fire.
Campfire set up. I shall cast Tiny Hut.
Okay, so you cast Liam's Tiny Hut.
Yep.
What's up?
I just, as a caveat, with all the people are inside and all that other stuff, just to make sure no one's shut out.
Yep, yeah. Well, so I believe when you cast the spell, you can designate creatures to go in and out, or is it just whoever's inside?
Whoever's inside at the time.
Okay. But that's easy
enough.
Like
a second to prepare. It's easy.
Yeah, it's simple enough to get everyone clustered in the same 20 feet. You cast Liam's Tiny Hut. This sort of translucent from the inside, but opaque from the outside, reddish-orange dome just vroom, fades into existence.
Technically, it can be any color I choose.
It can be any color. What color would you like your tiny hut to be?
Some sort of green to match whatever foliage is around us.
I want turquoise.
So when you create the dome, you look around you, and it's pretty dark, so it's kind of hard to tell, but you do get like a very dark forest green color on the outside.
At this point, I will exit the dome and set up my cordon of arrows.
Okay. You cast 2 again, I assume?
I used a second spell slot for Longstrider last time, so I only have 1.
That's right.
Why Longstrider? Oh yes, because we had a combat, didn't we?
Because you didn't have a long rest there. Got it. Okay, so but you set them up, roughly in the 4 cardinal directions. You put your cordon of arrows around you. Does anyone do anything else before bedding down?
I cast Revivify.
I'm going to assume that's a no by the lack of response.
Negative, it seems.
Yeah. So, alrighty. So it is now decidedly nighttime. Most of you bed down. Are you putting up a watch? Trusting the dome to do its thing?
We have a standard watch routine, isn't it? Like me and the other person who doesn't have.
It's Efferil. Efferil, yeah. Our standard watch rotation is Efferil first for the first 4 hours, and then Vania for the second 4 hours.
All right. Want me to make my perception check?
So all of you go and you bed down. Efferil, you remain awake. You can make your perception check, but because it is dim light and darkness, this would be made at disadvantage.
Can I do my Mage Hand glowy rock thing that I did last time?
Okay, yeah. You cast light on a little rock that's inside the dome and carry with Mage Hand out in all the directions, and that mitigates the disadvantage.
Why are you doing light when we have that lantern?
Lantern? Oh shit, we have a magic lantern!
Yeah, we have the lantern!
Magic lantern the whole time. Did you guys forget about the lantern?
It's not mine, that's why I don't think of it. Can I borrow the lantern so I can see properly? That is not the voice of Efferil. Shut up.
It kind of sounds like you're doing a voice, like a fancy voice all the time.
I believe...
Because you're like...
Because I'm British.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
I am.
It's a compliment! I finally got Zarek's talisman! Yes!
Anyway, can I borrow the weird lantern thing, and then I'll do the Mage Hand thing with the lantern thing so I can see everything with it, because it's a weird lantern thing.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay. So you light
I forgot that was a thing we had.
You light the lantern up as everybody else is bedding down.
What does it take as fuel?
So it takes oil. There's a good amount of oil left in it. Over the course of your watch, it does take about a quarter of the amount of oil that's in there.
We wanted to get some more oil, then that's why I'm not using the lantern. I don't think he needs to.
With the previous uses that you had when you were on your way to Gromkeep, it's about half filled with oil at this point. Okay, yeah. So go ahead and make your perception check. Asterisk, you can see invisible things.
Perception. I've got to roll it. It's 19.
19. Okay. So looking out around you,
With a
you
true
don't see
sight
anything.
lantern.
Yeah, with your true sight lantern. You don't see anything major around you. A few times you see, sort of in the southwesterly direction, eyebrows wiggling. You see a little bit of movement, just like some kind of large, not a figure, but like almost like a rock is moving, just a big form, just shift, just slightly.
Well,
And
then,
then you-
because
and you
I have
focus-
the light attached to a mage hand, I move the light closer to that.
Okay, so looking outward toward that, you don't see anything that's really out of the ordinary. You see a lot of the underbrush that's around you, sort of up in a pile. But otherwise, nothing catches your attention.
Is it a weird pile?
It's... Make a nature check.
Doesn't matter, I rolled a 3.
Okay. It doesn't look like...
Or 0.
Yeah. So it doesn't look like anything more than perhaps just a very large overgrown portion. You do keep the light on it for a minute or two. Doesn't seem to be making any sort of movement.
Alright.
And you pull the lantern away, just sort of keeping an eye out in that direction. You don't see anything else for the rest of your shift.
There we go then.
Alrighty, so you go and finish up your shift. You you go and you wake Vania for her shift.
I saw something over there, but I think it might have been the wind.
If I had a silver for every time one of my subordinates said that, I leave the sentence hanging as I go to take watch.
It's a good thing I'm not your subordinate then.
I didn't know you were a Whiterun guard.
I'm a standing NPC from...
From any RPG game ever.
Alrighty, so Efferil, you go and you get into your normal resting position and do your little bit of resting there for a bit. Vania, if I could have you go and make a perception check, please.
Oh, cocked. Not a lot of rolling space on my desk right now.
You gotta get yourself
12.
a rolling tray. 12?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
that's base. I need to double check my mod, which is a 5, so 17.
Good lord. Friggin' Rangers, man.
Woo!
Yeah, because Wizards was 14 plus 3 and you have proficiency. Yep. So, throughout the night into the early morning, you keep an eye out in that direction. You do see the same, just a small little shift. It doesn't look to be moving toward you or away from you. It's just a small, almost like something is in a bush and shaking it, like that. But from what you can see, there's no animal or object out there. It's just like a small shift probably every 2 hours or so. So you see it once at the beginning of your shift and once in the middle of your shift.
I'll let it be.
Okay. So you continue out the rest of your watch. Morning comes. At this point, it does brighten a little bit, but it's now raining. The rain starts to fall in the early morning just as everybody is beginning to rouse, and it's light, and it slowly, as the morning progresses, gets a little bit heavier. So it's for the purposes of this, it is dim light, so everybody without dark vision, you're gonna have a tough time seeing.
Get on your cold weather gear, lads and lasses.
Of note, it's very hot. Like the rain is wet and sticky and gross, but it's raining.
Okay. Okay, yeah, tropical. Okay, got it.
All right. So as you, the rest of you rouse, those of you who are late risers notice above you, and the dome disappears above you, and you can feel rain coming down on your face.
Up and at 'em. It's time to leave.
Yeah, you got that right.
Alright. Let's get moving.
Alrighty. So you each pack yourselves up. Vania, since you have a pretty good idea of where you are, I'll say Vania, make a survival check with advantage to navigate the rest of the way. Not the rest of the way, but throughout the course of the day.
I died.
Uh-oh.
No. It's good. It's fine. No, all 3 survival checks you've made me roll, I keep rolling a 17 base. 22.
It's +5. Yeah, jeez. I need to subject your die to the float test. Okay. So you, yeah, you're able to navigate fairly well. It is difficult for, I think it's Efferil and Kledash. You don't have dark vision, so it's a little bit difficult for you to navigate.
I'm going to need to get dark vision next time I level up. Yeah. Next time I get an evocation, at least.
Oh yeah, because you get the eyes of the, I forget what it's called, but yeah, you can see through everything. But so that does slow you slightly, not by a very considerable amount, but enough where it's noticeable as you are going to pick through. And the horses don't have dark vision either. Those of you with dark vision are able to navigate well enough. Dásos in particular, you have no problems navigating with your horse. But those with lacking dark vision, your progress is slowed slightly. The day gets to about midday. Let's see. I'll say who would like to be looking out for stuff?
Vania's navigating, so probably can't be me.
Can't be Vania, yeah, she's navigating. Alright, Dásos.
Can I look out for things?
Sure, Dásos and Efferil. Efferil, Dásos, you can roll perception. Efferil, roll perception with disadvantage.
13.
Teen, somehow.
I didn't hear, I heard teen. What was the?
That's all you get.
Teen?
14.
So 14? Okay. So 14 and 14. Okay. So as you're...
13.
13?
Yeah.
Okay. 13 and 14. So as you're going over the course of the day, you do see a couple of small animals. There are a couple of snakes here and there.
Can I say one thing, though?
What's up?
Because I just thought of this. I feel bad for not saying it earlier. Why don't I, since I don't have dark vision, why don't I just take out a torch and use prestidigitation to light it off?
Okay. Yeah,
If you want to do that, I could just cast light.
Cast light on the torch?
Yeah.
Oh my god, wait, dude.
That.
That's so funny.
It works. You just need to cast it on
that's
something. It makes sense.
All right. So you pull out a torch. Efferil casts light on it once an hour. Which is not incredibly difficult. You just got to remember to do it once the light starts to fade.
I did it a whole night before.
You did. And so as you're navigating, your pace picks up a bit. You're able to see a little bit further out, which is good. So you traverse the rest of the way. As the day is going on, you don't see any bullywugs in particular, or any other large figures, but something you do notice off in the distance, vaguely in the direction this way, sort of like south to southwest to southeast as you're going over this loop. You do see what looks to be a a statue or some kind of like large monument off in the distance. It's hard to see what it is at this distance, but it's been almost a staple as you've been walking around this area. Your horses have been walking around this area.
Can I roll to say what I know metagame? Because that's quite obvious, but I don't think my character would know that.
Who knows?
Okay, I guess not then. Continue onwards, unless you want to go investigate it.
I just want to keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep going.
We can always come back to investigate later.
Alrighty. So you.
I'm just going to kind of default to that for now.
Alrighty.
The group. Yeah.
So you continue.
That was for the whole group. You know. I don't know.
Okay. So you continue on for the rest of the day. Gets toward the evening time. As before, it is getting, because it is raining, and it's kind of miserable. By the way, I was really hoping that you'd light the torch so I can say you light the torch and it goes out because it's raining. But you decided to get around that with magic, so.
I mean, fireworks well enough in rain.
Ish.
If you used oil-based fuel, I imagine it works fine.
I guess it depends on how much it's raining.
Well, I mean, the water only puts out the fire if it prevents the fuel from being burnable, or it stops the oxygen. So it actually will keep a torch around for quite some time until it gets too wet. But that's not really important. Let's keep going.
Because you guys have light, it doesn't matter. It gets toward the evening time, and as it gets toward the evening time, those of you with dark vision notice it's a very interesting experience, and it's for folks with dark vision. You notice the range of your vision starts to draw in slightly as you start becoming dependent on your dark vision, and all the colors sort of disappear from the world as you become entirely dependent on your dark vision. So it's kind of like a perspective sort of kind of pulls back in, and that's when you can really tell it's nighttime, because there's not a whole lot of light difference between the daytime and nighttime at this point. So.
All right. Eyes peeled for another campsite.
Okay. Go ahead and make a survival check.
About that time to bed down again.
Have a strong feeling that we may wish to press through this night.
You think so?
Yes.
Based on what?
Hunch. And metagaming. Alright.
I mean,
alright. We can count down for the night.
Are you retconning what you said?
You can take it however you want.
I mean, should we take special care of where we are? Should we be suspicious of apparently you have metagame knowledge, but your character is choosing not to share it?
I mean, I would assume we're still cautious, because we're still technically in troll territory.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. We're in troll territory.
Oh, that's not metagame. We have the map.
That's not metagaming. No, it says that on the map.
Yeah, that's just the map. Yeah.
I mean, like, the statues behind us, I'm pretty confident were the trolls.
What?
Trolls turn to stone in daylight.
They don't actually do that in D&D.
Oh, they don't?
Thinking Lord of the Rings. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go. That was my metagaming knowledge.
You know, I would never make
whatever
that
you want.
stupid mistake because I haven't seen those dumb movies.
What?
I've never seen the Lord of the Rings.
But for future reference, if you folks want to like know if your character knows something, you can ask me and I'll make you either do nature or intelligence or something. I can have you make a check to see if your character would have encountered either a troll or knowledge or heard about somebody doing it. So that's that is something that you can ask about.
In
I
any
did
case,
ask earlier, but I guess it wasn't very clear.
betting down then. Roll the 15 total on that survival check.
Okay. Yeah, with that survival check, as you've been going along, it's the same sort of general density of the trees. There doesn't seem to be any particular area that's better than the others, and as you've been going, the path has been almost disappearing. At this point, it's pretty much gone, and you're going off of Kledash's navigation. But you see some areas that might be better than others as you're going through this, let's say, last hour or so, looking out for places.
Okay. Well, I pick out one of those spots and
Okay. Let's make it
start
interesting.
steering.
Let's make it interesting. I'll say you found 4 good spots that look better than the others. Which one of the 4 will you?
Roll a d4.
Roll a d4. Okay, I choose spot number
6.
spot number 1.
Spot number 1.
Spot
Okay.
number 1. So saith the dice.
So the first spot you come across that looks to be sufficient is where you sort of point out to the rest of the group and let them know, like, hey, this looks like a decent enough place to stay for the evening.
All right. I'm sure by now you guys know the drill. Let's make it happen.
Okay. So I assume the same general night procedure happens. You got the dome, you've got the cordon of arrows.
Yep, and I've got the 8 this time.
Okay, yeah, because you have the other spell slot.
Yep.
So, as we go along, for expediency's sake, let me know if something changes, if something diverges. Otherwise, I'll just assume it's the same thing, okay?
Cool.
Just so I don't
So I'll
have
use
to
the
asking
lantern
over and
for that.
over and over. So
Yeah.
you can use the lantern.
Sounds
tonight.
good.
Okay. So as you guys bed down, Kledash, you create your tiny hut. Efferil, go ahead and roll your perception check for the first watch.
9.
Ooh.
9. Okay. Your watch passes uneventfully. The rain, you can hear the rain hitting the dome. It's you get distracted a little bit. You actually look up at the dome, not really thinking like, oh yeah, this is a solid object, even though it's entirely made of magic, and it does make a little bit of noise. But nothing seems to approach or anything seems to catch your eye as you're watching.
I get distracted by shiny things. Yay!
So your watch comes to a close. You go and you wake Vania. Vania, go ahead and roll your perception check.
18.
18. Alrighty. So you almost
perception's only +2.
almost immediately as you change over and you do your first quick skim at the surroundings around you, you notice the oh no. Sorry, I just noticed one of my dice has a chip in it. You notice a very large pile of vegetation about 60 feet away. It's like just at the edge of your dark vision. And as you turn to look at it, it shifts ever so slightly. Just to one side, not toward you, but just shifts slightly.
I draw an arrow and shoot it.
Okay, so you fire out of the dome. Go ahead and roll for an attack.
Oh no. Well, there's my bad roll. Wait, no, it's still a +9, so maybe it'll hit. 15.
How do you have +9 to hit? Good
Dexterity,
let's see.
proficiency.
Dexterity plus efficiency, that's a 7, plus fighting style archery, that's a +2
right.
for total of +9.
I forgot revised rangers get fighting style. That's right. What was the roll?
Actually,
this?
no, I'm pretty sure regular ranger gets fighting style too.
Maybe, I don't know. I'll look it up. What was the roll was 17 or 16?
15.
15.
1-5.
Okay. So you draw your arrow and you fire. You see it sink into this pile of vegetation. And hold on, gotta get ready for this one.
Now we roll for initiative.
As it sinks into the creature, it shifts, and you hear. If you could roll damage for me, please. And while this is happening, I would like everybody else to roll for initiative, please. Bearing in mind, most of you, except Efferil and Vania, are asleep. So.
Uh-oh. Oh, god damn it. My laurels, they're happening now.
I got a 20.
6. 6 on the damage, by the way.
So 6 on the damage. So that was, I'll just, so when I ask for initiative, I'll just go down the list alphabetically for my sake. So, Dásos, what's your initiative?
8.
8. Okay. Efferil?
16.
16. Kledash?
9.
9. Tyorrgeth? Uh-oh. Did we lose you? Tyorrgeth?
I think his...
I got 20.
You got a 20? Jesus, okay. And Vania?
Oh, you thought that was a Jesus. 22.
Oh my god.
So,
So, as the first round, whatever this entity is surprised. Oh, I didn't even roll initiative for it. Good lord. I'm really off my game today.
You're drunk.
I'm not. I have had exactly 1 drink right now.
You're drunk. You're a lightweight.
Okay. So, coming around, Vania, you're at the top of the initiative. So you go and you take your shot, and you deal your 6 damage to it. We'll say that's just the first action to happen for consistency's sake. Then is Tyorrgeth. Because there hasn't been a loud noise, I'll say at the moment, until you wake up, you're incapacitated. Just because you're still asleep. Next is Efferil, which you are, at this point, you're just getting to sleep, so you're still awake. You notice you notice Vania turn and shoot an arrow out into the darkness.
To which I immediately wake up and go, what? And have a look exactly where the arrow landed to see what they were looking at.
Okay.
Because as far as I'm aware, nothing's, as far as I'm aware, you just shot a random arrow.
Well, because you don't have dark vision and you don't have the lantern, it is outside the range of your vision, unfortunately.
Can I cast light on that arrow?
Because the arrow's already flown, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I know that the arrow exists.
I think you have to be able to
shit.
see it in order to cast light on it.
God, I'm trying. Alright, can I cast light on a rock that I can see outside and chuck it nearby? That's technically 2 actions, but maybe I can just cast light.
I believe light is the action, correct?
Then light would be my action.
Alrighty, so you cast light on an object. Is Mage Hand a bonus action, or is it an action?
Yeah, I think it would be a standard action, so I'm not even
Okay.
bothering to check it. It
That's right,
probably is.
Mage action's only a bonus action for Arcane Trickster Rogues. That's right.
God damn rogues.
I'll just kind of place people.
Why do they get the fun things? I'll just have to stick here with my 3 level 3 spell slots that I refresh every hour after an hour break.
After you go to bed for a little bit and have a little napsy.
Well, sit down and contemplate the existence of reality for an hour.
Okay, let me put this map on the ground so it's out of the way while I go and get the disc to indicate where this thing is. Okay, so you cast light. And that's gonna be your turn.
Yep.
Okay.
Like in the direction of the arrow, somewhere nearby that I can still see.
Okay. So I don't believe magic can pass through the dome, so you'd have to cast it on something inside the dome. Which you can cast it on like a rock that's on the ground.
I have to
There's
touch
plenty
it
of
as
those.
well.
Yeah.
Which
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't know.
that'll. That's
So-
important.
So you sort of fish down into the underbrush below you and pick up a rock and you cast light on it. moving down the list, I have another initiative table on here, and I need to cross it out. Otherwise, I'll keep going to the old one. Next, we have Kledash, who is.
Wait, does
also
the light
asleep.
go far enough to see the thing?
I don't believe so. I believe light is.
Like a candle.
It's 20-foot radius, bright light, and dim light for an additional 20 feet. So unfortunately, it is outside the 40 feet of the range of the light spell.
It's exactly 41 feet away.
It is, well, it's roughly 60 feet away, because it's just at the edge of Vania's dark vision.
Oof.
4, 5, 6. So it's right about here, I'd say. Oh, by the way, it's also large.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah.
This is the trolls we were warned about.
Most likely.
Anyway,
So-
I could just start blasting, so I don't care.
So anyway, I started Eldritch Blasting. Alrighty,
It's
so,
also occurred to me I should have used
Clash, you're
Flaming
asleep.
Sphere instead.
Kledash, you're asleep. Dásos, you're asleep, unfortunately.
cool.
Everyone who was asleep for this round, at the end of this round, I'll say, go ahead and make a perception check with disadvantage to see if you heard any of the ruckus.
Unless we start yelling.
Unless you start, I mean, neither of you yelled on your turn, if you'd like to yell on your turn.
Nope.
Although you don't know, yeah, you don't know what it is, so.
We don't know
I don't
anything
know
about
what
that.
it is. As far as Vania knows, it could have just been a critter, that some poor squirrel or something. Who knows?
It might still be a critter.
It might still be a critter, who knows?
Be a critter.
So Dásos.
Yep.
your
So I'm
perception
just
with
making
disadvantage.
It's perception at disadvantage. Okay.
Yep, just to see if you picked up on it while you were
Okay.
sleeping.
It's a 5.
That's gonna be a no. Kledash, perception with disadvantage, please. Is your mic on?
Yeah, I'm just typing the thing in to make the roll.
Okay,
So it should be DAV, right?
correct. DAV plus or minus whatever your bonus is. Yeah, that's a 6. That's gonna be a no. A big ol' no. Tyorrgeth, if you could make perception with disadvantage, please.
Roll one. That's a 10 from me.
It's a 10. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not enough. So you three are still asleep during this. Coming back around to the top of the initiative order, it's going to be Vania. At the moment, you're still not sure what it is that you've hit. It's just on the edge of your vision, so it's kind of difficult to see. From what you can see, it was just almost like a bush. Like I said before, it's like a bush has something in it, and the whole bush moved as a single unit.
I'm going to ready. Actually, no. Hunter's Mark is a. Is it a
Bonus
bonus
action.
or a full?
It's bonus action.
Bonus action. Okay.
It's a
Right. So I'm gonna
bomb-ass
Hunter's
spell.
Mark it if I can.
Okay. To indicate that, I'm gonna put this D4 on the plate. My little tiny D4.
Okay. Okay.
It's my favorite D4. It's so small.
And then I'm going to. Excuse me. I'm going to ready an action to shoot it if it turns out to be an aggressive creature and it starts attacking us and it starts attacking us or trying to attack us anyways, or if it actually no, nix that. I'm still gonna prep the arrow, prep another attack.
Okay.
But if it comes any closer, or if it turns out to be some kind of monstrous creature, then I'm going to shoot. I'm also going to yell if that happens as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say you can yell and shoot at the same time. I'll allow that. So your prepared action is shoot at whatever it is if it comes closer, and also yell at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Tyorrgeth, you're asleep. Efferil, it is your turn.
Yeah, I lob my magic rock in the direction of where the thing is.
Okay, so you do you just like lob it with your hand, or do you use a spell?
Yeah, I don't see any point.
Okay.
I
so
don't think Mage Hand works through the barrier you described, so I'd have to.
You
As
can't.
I lob it, then use Mage Hand to pick it up to go further.
Well, so you can't cast the spell out of the dome, but you can cast the spell in the dome and then carry the mage hand out of the dome. You just can't
then I do
target
that.
something that's outside. Yeah. Okay, so you use your action to cast Mage Hand, and then I believe, let me double check the wording of Mage Hand to make sure I do this correctly, because it's weird when it's used in combat. Okay, so it can only go up to 30 feet away from you, which is fine. Blah blah blah. You can use your action to control the hand, so it's an action to cast, and then it would be next turn an action to control it. So you can't.
Which is
cast
why I
and
wanted to
control
lob
in
the
same
rock,
turn, yeah.
because that takes way too long.
Okay, so you're just gonna toss the rock out of the dome. The dome objects can't pass through the dome, so you'd have to step out of the dome to throw it.
Wait, how did I shoot my arrow then? Oh, wait, no, I can still do that. Yeah, if I tip it out.
No, wait, no, you're right. Objects within that were inside the dome when it was cast can pass.
Yeah.
Sorry, so your
It's
rock
only
can.
if I'm trying to go in.
Yeah, so your rock was
If it's not
inside
a rock,
the dome.
it'd be something
It can.
in the inventory, like a torch or a piece of wood or something.
No, the rock was inside the dome because you picked it up, so that's fine. You can throw it through. My brain went in the wrong direction with it, so. Yeah, so you can throw it. Your strength is, oh man, 14. Jesus. Alrighty. Yeah,
He's a buff boy.
A very physical wizard. Warlock.
I'll say within like this area here. Where would you like to toss it? It's easy enough for you. I'm not even gonna bother making you roll.
Somewhere, like, between me and the thing, so...
Okay. So I'll say
You can really pick where,
Your-
because I'm not rolling.
2, 3, 4, 5. I'll say right about here is your lit stone that extends light. Bright light for this radius, and dim light for this radius. So you can
So
now
we can just about see it.
You can now see it. It's hard to make out at this distance because it's in dim light, but you can see it.
Can I identify that? Like, see it as a threat? See whether or not it's trying to be threatening, or trying to run away, or...
Make a nature check at disadvantage, because at this distance, it'd be tough to identify.
We are looking at a natural 2, which is probably going to be a 0.
Oh dear.
It's a
And
1.
It's a 1.
Oh dear.
Looks like
Oh,
a moving
dear.
bush. That's what you can see from here.
Then I don't determine it being a threat, and I'm confused as to why you're throwing an arrow at a thing. So, yeah.
Alrighty.
There you go.
Now it is the entity.
And I say as much. Why are you throwing an arrow at a thing? It's just a bush. I say in character and accent, because I can't be bothered to do it right now.
Alrighty. So,
I'm too busy paying attention to it to respond.
pile of vegetation starts to approach. Vania, that's your
Which
trigger,
I yell, oh shit.
I believe.
Let me
So
make
go
my
ahead.
roll and then I'll say what I am yelling.
Yep, so
Oh,
go ahead
and
roll
rolled
for
off
your
the
attack.
table.
I mean, you can't
Natural
yell.
one.
That's,
Natural
okay. So, you loose your arrow, but in the moment, you're like, you turn to the rest of the group to say something to them and loose your arrow, not realizing it just, it goes wide. But you do get
and
your other...
In the interim, shit, I totally forgot what I was gonna yell.
We got contact?
Oh yeah, no, actually, no, that was exactly it. We've got contact! Up and at 'em!
Alrighty. So, everyone below you in the initiative order, you're waking. So you don't get to take a turn this round, but you get to wake up, and you can move. But I'll say you don't get
I'm
an
impressed
action
that all
because
of you
you're
can
still
wake up in
rousing.
6 seconds.
This is me being generous.
Yeah. And also seasoned adventurers at this point.
So it moves. Let's see. What is this movement speed? Oh man,
I told you my battle rules were coming.
15, 20. That's about as far as it can go. And okay, what it will do is you see Vania, as you look, you turn to glance back toward it after firing your shot. You see the vegetation kind of sinks down. It was about almost 8 feet tall, and it sinks down to less than 3 feet. 2, 3, 4. It goes right up, and actually now it goes right up to where the stone is, and it pops back up into the form it was before, and it now has the lit rock sort of on top of it, just resting, as it sort of picks up your little light rock, Efferil.
That sounds pretty cool, actually. Also slightly terrifying.
That's going to be its turn, because it can't do anything else. To indicate that, I'm going to use one of my other wee little dice. Put it right there. So, because it's stupid and moves in a straight line, and it picked up the rock, it's a lot easier to target now. So, coming down in the initiative order, Kledash, you've just heard Vania call out. You are just waking. I'll say you can take a movement, but you can't take an action.
I mean, if I'm going to move anywhere, it's going to be towards my armor. Trying to put it on.
What kind of armor do you have?
Leather.
Leather? Let me double check how long that takes to put on, because I know some of it takes a little bit of time. I believe it's
just regular leather. It's nothing fancy.
Yep. Let me just double check. I should have had this up because I knew this was going to happen.
Light armor is 1 minute, medium is 5, heavy is 10, shield is 1 action.
Okay. Yeah, so it will take you 10 rounds to put that on. Just so you're aware. But you know what's great about having an impenetrable dome?
I'll just grab my crossbow then.
Okay. So you reach over and grab your crossbow in a relatively practiced movement. You are still prone.
See, I'm a spellcaster. I don't have to worry about armor. It's great.
Grabs the crossbow and just what? Where? What?
Okay.
Looks at Vania because of course she's the one that screamed.
Alrighty. Is that gonna be your turn?
Yeah.
For the sake of this, I'm gonna do this. Bop, bop, bop. Because you're currently prone. Coming around, Dásos. You just heard Vania shout out to the rest of the group. You get a movement, but no action this round because you're just like waking up. Dásos, did we lose you?
I did that thing where I thought I was turning it on, but I was turning it off.
That seems silly.
But hey, here I am now. So I will grab my weapons, not armor, but I mean just my scimitar. I guess I'll bring like a dagger with me too.
Okay.
So
you roll over to the side and grab your scimitar and dagger that you've had placed just in case, and pick them up.
Yep. Weirdly enough, I try to keep those things nearby.
Imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that. And then, I was thinking while Kledash was going about whether or not I wanted to leave said impenetrable barrier. I'm just gonna go up next to Vania.
Okay, so you use half your movement to stand. Go 5, 10, 15. We'll say that's inside still.
Okay, cool. And then just say, all right, I'm ready to go out and fight if I need to.
Okay. That's going to be your turn. Coming back around to the top of the initiative is going to be Vania. What you hear as this thing gets closer, it's weird. you don't hear like the sounds of an organism, like or anything like that. You hear the sound of like twigs snapping and leaves rustling and like vegetation moving and shifting, but you don't actually hear a sound. It's kind of an odd experience.
I just want to ask, since I got, wait, what was it that Vania got for their initiative?
You got a
22.
22.
All right, just make it.
As Dásos clambers up next to me, I sort of nudge my bow as I'm loading the next arrow towards the plant monster thing instead, and I tell him, "Ready to? We got a plant to kill."
And I can clearly see this, right? With the
With
we can all see it at this point.
with your dark vision and with the lit rock inside of it, you can see what amounts to essentially an angry bush charging at you.
All right.
So those of you, the two of you, so Dásos and Vania, with dark vision, Tyorrgeth, you're not awake yet. You will be soon, but you're not yet. You can see, looking into this, you don't see an organism inside. You just see a mess of branches and vines and leaves and stuff like that, moss. So,
anyways, so I'm gonna start blasting it.
okay, go ahead and roll for an attack.
You can't take my thing.
Blood feud.
15.
15? Yeah, 15 just hits.
15. Okay. Plus Hunter Mark damage is a D6.
Mm-hmm.
Plus Colossus Slayer, which is
God,
next
that's
to D8.
right. I forgot about that.
Nice.
Revised Rangers are busted. Which is good, because regular
damage.
Rangers are shit. All right.
12 damage.
So focusing in, using your sort of training and focus and the magical ability to look in and strike at a weak point, you fire another arrow into this entity and deal a good amount of damage. It doesn't look. It's hard to tell because the arrow goes in and disappears, but you hear the sound of like leaves moving and trees rustling. So you gather it probably hurt it a little bit.
Bonus or second attack.
Okay.
Or extra attack, rather. Oh, that's worse. 12?
12 does not hit, unfortunately. Going with your gut a second time, unfortunately, you didn't have the advantage of this sort of magical influence, and it does clip it, but you see it passes right through without actually damaging it. Is that gonna be your turn?
No, I only have 7. That's fine though. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I'm not gonna move. Actually, I'm not gonna move. No, yeah, that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay.
Can I get a little detail on the impenetrable barrier? Like, if I leave the barrier, can I come back through the barrier?
Yeah, you can come back.
Yeah.
So I can just bop in and out.
Objects that are inside the barrier when the spell is cast can pass freely through it.
Seems busted.
That's Liam's tiny hut for you.
Seems powerful.
Be good.
All right, cool. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to this. That's all I'm saying.
Alrighty. So Tyorrgeth, hearing Vania shout, you are roused. So you wake up and you're aware of your surroundings. You get to move, but you don't get an action. Unless it's like a quick little ditty. Like picking up.
So yeah, what'll happen is I get up, I'll grab my weapon, my short sword, and I'm allowed to just grab both the short sword and my javelins, just in case I need to throw something.
I mean, you have two
So-
hands, so I'd say so.
Yeah, I'll do that and just
See.
sort of peek out the area.
Alrighty, so you you sort of rouse and you take a hold of the short sword that you were more or less cuddling with as you slept, because your weapons are your best friends. And you reach over and grab one of your javelins, and you say you're going to look out from the dome.
Yeah, I'll just like take a sort of like
The
I'll,
dome is
like,
the dome is transparent from the
like-
inside, so you don't have to go out of the dome to look out.
well, yeah, I'll just like look out of the dome and just see what's going.
Okay. With your dark vision, it's easy enough to see. You see much of what's been seen before. A pile of vegetation appears to be moving and approaching the dome. Is what you see.
Do I recognize what this type of pile of vegetation thing?
Make a nature check.
Hey, I have a bonus in that.
Hey. That's helpful.
19.
19. Okay. You do recognize the creature. It's weird because you've only heard about it from people. You've never actually encountered one yourself. This is a shambling mound, which is as I've described it before, more or less an angry bush. It's about what it is.
So from inside,
And
I'll just
when Amanda's
sorta shout
under a
out to
blanket
everyone.
and she kind of
So we're fighting the bush, huh?
While shambling
Hang,
around.
hang on. What was that, Tyorrgeth?
But yeah, I'll shout from out of this. So we're fighting the bush now, huh? All right.
Alrighty. So, next up in the initiative order, we have Efferil.
Yeah. I'm going to cast Flaming Sphere
Okay.
next to the thing. It turns out I misread the spell wrong last time I cast this. It's a bonus action to move it.
It is. Okay, good to know.
So I then use that bonus action to ram the Flaming Sphere into it, causing it 3d6 damage. Or
Okay.
causing it to make a...
Whoa, jeez. A dex save. So are you casting it at 3rd level?
Well,
That's right,
I
you only
to.
have 3rd level spell slots, that's right. Warlocks.
Yep. It needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Let's see, you have up to 1 minute. I'll use this handy dandy D12. It's going to be right there.
Dice, yeah. That's no sphere. That's a space station. I'm not gonna make that joke. I already did.
Okay. So yeah, it's a dexterity saving throw, right?
Yep.
What
DC
is...
of a number.
That's definitely true.
14.
Well, it rolled a 5, so that's a no.
Cool. It's also D6 plus 1 because I got a rod. I forgot about that.
That's right, you have a 1, so it's plus 1 anyway, yeah.
4, 7, 8 damage.
So 8 damage. Alright, so
Massive amount of damage.
Yeah. Well, so as the... Where did my pen go? There it is. As this, you release the spear and you direct it over to slam into the side of the creature. And it's odd, for a vegetation-based creature, you would have expected a little bit more of an impact than it was. You see it got hurt, but it doesn't seem to have caught flame as much as you would have expected, if that makes sense.
Actually, I was expecting a bit more than that. It is fire, and that is a bush. Might be wet, though. Whatever. That's my turn.
Alrighty. Okay, so that's going to be your turn. Next up, we have the entity. The entity, which reacts to the sphere, will now move 5, 15, 20, right up to the edge of the dome. And you can see everybody can see as it approaches the dome, it just moves into the dome and impacts it. And you can feel sort of the dome vibrate as it impacts, and it sort of shifts back slightly, and it goes to take a slam against the dome, which would have been a natural 20, but it doesn't matter because the dome's impenetrable, and it just slams one of its like an appendage into the dome. But that's going to be his turn. Moving down, we have Kledash.
So Kledash is going to... Let's see, where's everyone? Let's see.
Ooh.
Man, do it.
How about that? Okay.
Let's spit acid.
Okay. So from
I was
from
gonna say, make sure you don't get anyone else.
from prone, you spit out your stream of acid. It's a dexterity saving throw, right?
Yep.
Okay. What's the DC? Is it 13, I think, or 12?
Dex save 8 plus con proficiency. Let's see. Yeah. 8 plus con proficiency. That's what I've written down. Let me check the book. But I'm pretty sure that's right. Because that's why I wrote it down.
Which your Constitution's 10, so that's a plus 0, so plus 2, so it's 12. Well, it doesn't matter because it rolled a 6.
Oh no.
So
It's very dexterous, this thing.
so go ahead and roll damage.
It's a big plant monster. I wouldn't expect it to be very dexterous.
I would... Okay.
2d6. Alright. 6. Okay.
6 damage, nice. Okay. So you
Yeah.
so from the ground you go and spit your acid out at it, and it coats sort of one side of it, and you can see it starts to sizzle away some of the material that makes up this entity.
Oh wait, hang on. By the way, what happened to my 8 arrow cordons?
Oh, you're right. Sorry, that would have been 1, 2, 3 of them actually would have gone off as it approached. That would be 1.
That's your job to remember those.
3. 6.
Well, I remembered it now.
7, 8. So 3 of them, 1, 2, 3. Actually, 4 of them would have gone off. So go ahead and roll attacks for each of those. Thank you for reminding me. I completely forgot.
Attack or damage?
Oh, sorry, it's a dex save. So I have to roll 4 dex
it's
saves.
a dex save, yeah.
Hooray! What's your DC?
DC 13.
13. That's a 20. Oh, it's a 19. That's a 0. That's a 2. That's another 0. I'm gonna put this die
That
away
means it
now.
has a negative on its dex saves.
So go ahead and roll. Was it a D6?
D6, yeah.
So yeah, go ahead and roll
2 damage,
three
and then
D6.
4 damage, and then 3 damage. So total of 9 damage.
So okay, so 9 damage. You said 2, 4, yeah, so 9. Okay. So it doesn't seem bothered by the arrows that go into it as it's approaching. It does shift slightly with the impact, but it doesn't seem to really notice.
I'll just ask on my turn. Wait, my turn's coming up. How does like bonus action? Like, say I use an attack, could I
Yeah.
move bonus action and then extra attack?
Your extra attack
would be the back move.
So actually, wait, you're level 5 barbarian. I think the extra attack is your bonus action, but let me double check just to make sure I'm getting the wording correctly. So when you take the attack action, you attack twice using the attack action. you can break up the attacks. So you can move, attack, and you still have your bonus action.
All right. So yeah.
Because you get to attack twice using the attack action, and you can break those up.
Yep. But yeah. Oh hey, it seems I'm in range.
Oh, actually, hang on. Sorry, the wording for the extra attack on Barbarian is you can, beginning of 5th level, you can attack twice instead of once whenever you take the attack action on your turn.
Yeah, certain
so
classes...
it's not a bonus action.
Right, so like 2-weapon fighting and certain classes, your extra attack is your bonus action. Not so much for the Fighter and Barbarian.
Yeah, so you get 2 attacks.
And I think Paladin, so... So what you gonna do, Tyorrgeth?
So... I'm gonna use Rage.
Okay, so your bonus action, you're gonna Rage.
And then I'm gonna get over to this...
Actually, sorry,
Anger.
we missed... Hang on. We missed 2 people's turns. We missed Dásos' turn.
Oh.
Number 1.
Did you guys ask if my turn was done?
Are you gonna be doing anything else on your turn?
Yes, Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
It's like half of my personality.
You cast your Bardic Inspiration. Who are you gonna inspire?
I'm gonna inspire Tyorrgeth.
Okay. So you go and you provide Tyorrgeth. It's a D6 at this level?
Yes.
Okay. So Tyorrgeth, you have a D6 that you can use to add to any ability check, saving throw, or attack roll.
Remember that you have it too.
Because we definitely won't.
It's not our job.
Alrighty, so you're gonna provide your Bardic Inspiration. Are you gonna move? You are currently prone.
What?
Because you were sleeping. You didn't stand up.
Yeah, you did your little spitty spit.
Yeah, I did the bonus action of the acid, and I did Bardic Inspiration.
Is it a bonus action to do the acid?
It is.
Because I believe Bardic Inspiration is also a bonus action, and you can't do both.
Can't do 2 bonus
I can't
actions.
just do...
I do find that weird. You can't use a bonus action as a regular action.
That
It
is...
has to be a bonus action.
Let me
That's
double
one of those weird
check.
DME things that you never quite know until you try it.
Dragonborn. Let's see.
Get rid of my Bardic Inspiration.
I mean, I have the notes. I know it's a bonus action.
Your breath weapon is an action. So it works this turn
down here is...
because your breath weapon is an action.
Yeah, then I should redo my notes because I have it written down wrong. Oh my.
Yeah. So your breath weapon is an action, and you get it once per rest, either short or long. Short rest, you get it back. So that works. That turn works in the end. So that's that turn. Are you gonna move at all? It takes half your movement to stand. That's why I'm asking.
Nope, I'm pretty good prone.
Okay, you're gonna stay down. Now we come around to Dásos.
It's me. I'm ready to go. I'm going to, after all the fire and the acid and the light rocks, I'm going to use my sword.
Okay.
I'm going to stab it. I'm going to step out.
So
I'm going to dodge around those vines.
You go 1, 2.
Duck.
Actually, you go.
Duck the flying moss, and I'm going to just not get touched by anything. And then I'm going to give it a little slashy slash.
Okay.
Here comes the scimitar. There it is, a 16. How could that miss?
16 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, wowzers. Alright, so I lost all my d6s except for one giant... Did I lose that one too? Oh, there it is. I have one giant d6 for all my sneak attacks. Alright.
That's right, because it's adjacent to... Yep, you get sneak attack.
Alright, here we go.
It's adjacent to another creature because you're a
6.
swashbuckler.
Listen, 8, 6, 8, 13, 15. Wait, is that 4 rolls? Yeah. Okay, so that's 21 damage.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. We're good. We're totally fine.
Is it dead?
No.
Yeah, it's normal.
No, you didn't kill it. It was how much damage? It was 20...
21.
21? Well, that actually
Yep.
makes the math easy. Thank you. So.
All right. And I disengage and duck back inside the whole thingy.
Okay, so bonus action, you disengage, and you take a step back because you're a rogue and you can do that.
Yep. Right. That's why.
All right. Is that gonna be your turn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now we come back around to the top of the initiative order, Vania. Vania.
My turn.
Action to shoot my bow.
Who said that?
Bear in
Who
mind.
the fuck said that?
Bear in mind, and in melee range you have disadvantage.
Yep. So I'm gonna just take a step back.
Okay, you move back 5 feet.
This wall thing is stupid. This is so stupid. You can't shoot at him. He's right next to you. I'm gonna take 5. I'm just gonna take a little step back and shoot at him through the bit. This is absurd.
And he would take a swing at you, and as he does, boom, he hits the dome.
I love this
First
thing.
attack. 18.
Yeah, an
That
18
should
will
hit.
hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
5 plus 3 plus. Wow, that roll sucked. 9 damage.
Okay, 9 damage. Woof. All right.
Attack number 2.
Attack number 2.
19.
Jesus. Okay.
Does Colossus Slayer apply for all attacks or just the first one?
I think it's the first, but let me double check. Colossus Slayer. If I can spell Colossus correctly. Jeez. Classes. I want to say it's the first in each turn, but let me check. Excuse me. So I'm giving you correct information.
Wait, I just realized I didn't even need to disengage. I forgot.
Oh yeah, because you attacked. Because they don't need to. Yeah.
The other dumb thing.
It's once per turn. It's once per turn.
Once per turn. Okay, so it's So once per turn, you can add that extra damage.
Still, I rolled really well on this second roll. 8 damage.
Okay, nice. 8 damage. Blah blah. Gotta do the math. Blah blah 3. Okay. Cool beans. Is that gonna be your turn?
Yep.
Alrighty. Yeah, so Colossus Slayer. Yeah, only once per turn. Cool. Alrighty. Now it is Tyorrgheth's turn. So now Tyorrgheth can use his bonus action to rage.
So yeah, my turn was rage and go out and strike the thing twice. And since I'm raging, I get advantage, I believe, on strength hits.
You on strength saves. That's not what an attack is, though. So for you, you'd go 1, 2, straight toward it. When you're raging, you can use reckless attack to get advantage on the attack. It's just attacks against you have advantage until the end of your next turn.
Sure. I'll do that.
Okay.
Reckless attack gives me advantage, and this would count for the extra attack as well.
Yeah, you can attack recklessly with each attack, I believe. So.
First attack per turn.
21,
Say again?
21 after mods.
Okay, 21. And it is your first attack, so it's only your first attack that gets advantage. So
Should
21
have
hits.
page up.
Go ahead and roll for damage.
Yeah, I'll
And you can add
use
your
my
rage damage.
with my bardic inspiration and the bard damage,
The
and
bardic-
I also get the
So hold on. Bardic Inspiration does not apply to damage rolls. It's only attacks, ability checks, and saving throws.
well, I mean, I still get divine fury on necro.
Okay, so you can use your Divine Fury. It's necrotic damage, you said?
Yep.
Okay, so roll them separately if you could, please.
I got a 12 for just pure melee,
Okay.
and I got 4 on necrotic.
Okay. So the rest of you watch as Tyorrgeth's blade. What's up?
Rage damage. I forgot my rage damage, which is I believe +2.
+2 at this level? Yeah, so. Okay.
So 14.
So,
melee plus.
just for this first attack, the rest of you watch as Tyorrgeth, he's got like a little bit of spittle coming out the corner of his mouth, and he just slams into the side of this creature through the dome. And Tyorrgeth, you sort of pull into the divine nature of your totem path and start to channel necrotic energy into this thing, and you feel the energy release from your blade and not have any effect.
I still have an extra attack.
Okay, so go ahead and roll for your second attack. This one is not at advantage.
That's a natural 20.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
What does natural 20 do for it again?
So it's
if I
either... So you can either double the dice, or you can roll the dice twice. Then you add your modifiers.
could 2d6.
And then you add your rage damage and your strength modifier afterwards.
$17 damage.
17 damage total. Okay.
Very nice. Very nice.
All right. So. Okay. So you take your second attack, just seeing the necrotic damage not take hold. You just go and take a second swipe at it, and you deal a good amount of damage to it. You actually cut off one of the tendrils that had been slamming into the dome. Okay. Is that going to be your turn?
Yeah. Can't get in here, so yeah.
So, Efferil, it is your turn.
Cool. I ram the sphere into the back of the thing that
Okay.
we're fighting. The
So you
living
bring
bush.
it, doop boop boop, and it's going to be 9 now. And slam it into it. It's a dexterity saving throw. Oh, not going to use this die. This die has been not kind to me today.
Please use that die.
That's an 18.
It saves. Oh, it takes half damage then.
Yeah. So it takes half damage. So go ahead and roll for your damage.
I have a feeling since it's weak to fire.
I rolled good here. 7, 14. So it takes 7 damage. I rolled
So
better
it's
for that than I
7
did when
damage?
he did. It's failed.
Okay. So it's going to take around. Okay.
Cool. I also cast Eldritch Blast because
that's the wrong-
that's only
sorry.
a bonus.
I started
only a
taking
bonus action.
hit points off of the wrong line. Okay. So Eldritch Blast is a bonus action, really?
Well, no, the sphere is a bonus action. The Eldritch Blast.
Oh, the
is a
sphere is a
regular
bonus action. Yeah. So then you're going to use your action to cast Eldritch Blast, which at
Yep,
this level, do you have? Is it 2 of them?
action. I have 2.
Yeah, you have 2
yes.
beams. Yeah. So go ahead and roll your first attack.
That is a. I forgot my pluses for this because
It's
So
plus your
it is
spellcasting
plus-
modifier.
7, so it's an 11, which is probably not enough.
11 does not hit. With the sphere, you try to come around with your offhand and cast the Eldritch Blast out of your fingertip, and it just goes wide. You can hear it
Another one.
slam into a tree in the distance.
Yeah, well, is 26 enough?
Yeah. Let me just check my book here. Yeah. So go ahead and roll your d10. Force damage, which nothing is resistant or immune to. Well, there are a few things.
I
but...
forgot what I add to it. I also add my charisma modifier, so it is
Is it?
5
Do
plus
you?
3 plus 1. Yes, agonizing
you-
blast.
Oh, right, agonizing blast. That's right.
So that is a 9 damage.
9 damage. Nice.
For a cantrip, it's not bad. I get +4 to that.
So as you're coming around from the first strike, you realign for the second, and the second Eldritch Blast is released out from your fingertips, and it slams into the side of this creature. It's a bit weird seeing this like sphere of darkness, more or less, just get absorbed by this creature, and you can tell it hurt, but it's just really weird to look at because the thing has no anatomy, so it's yeah. So, is that gonna be your turn?
I can't think of anything else.
All right. So, the creature will take its first 5 feet of movement and boom, hit the dome. And then it will, when you saw it was back here, it shrunk down. You see it shrink down, and it now covers an area about that large, and you can see bits of it starting to peek underneath the dome. And it slithers in, and it manages to get here. It can't fully reconstitute itself, but it does get itself into just a little bit underneath the dome, just forcing its way through the dirt underneath.
But so is the majority of it still outside?
The majority of it is still outside. It goes to reconstitute itself, and it kind of makes shape, but it's not able to fully really get into its shape in the position it's at, because it's forcing its way through. It's actually, difficult terrain is half movement, so it is able to get about halfway into it. And Kledash, I'm going to put you that way, because you were there. Fortunately, none of you were standing there, so it's none of you have to deal with it, but it is roughly half in and half out of the dome.
Question. Is that still within 5 feet of my sphere?
It is not. So it'd be about here, so it's about 10 feet from your sphere.
What's a shot?
However, what it is going to do, it's going to make a slam attack against Tyorrgeth, because Tyorrgeth is the one that hurt it the most so far, that it knows of. It doesn't know when things are in the air. Slam is going to be... That is going to be 17 to hit? Does that hit?
Exactly hit.
That does hit. Okay. So it's going to slam. It's going to deal... Oh, let me get my d8s out. That is... d8 plus 4. That's 15 points of bludgeoning damage, which, because you're raging, you take... Round down 14. You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage, and it is going to attempt. No, it's not. It's going to take a second slam attack against you. That's going to be a natural 20. So let's see. Let me get my 2 d8s out here again. Not as good this time. 2 plus 4, so 14. That's 7 points of damage. Of bludgeoning damage, and it's going to attempt to grapple you. It's going to engulf. So go ahead and make an athletics. I'll say athletics because you get advantage on that one. Saving throw.
Nice.
With advantage because you're raging.
Athletics with advantage. All
What did you say? Use that up.
I don't need Bardic Inspiration for this. I have advantage. I should probably be able to make this.
You can decide to use your Bardic Inspiration after making the roll, but before I tell you whether it succeeds or fails. So that's something that you can do.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna use the Bardic Inspiration.
That's what I thought. So what's that going to be?
Yeah, that'll be a 19.
A 19. Okay. So you managed to succeed. You notice this thing slams into you from 2 sides, and you can feel some vines start to wrap around your body, but in your fury, you just you actually cut some of them away from you and take just like a half step back, and it does not engulf you. But that is going to be its turn. So, next up we have Kledash. Kledash, who is now prone. You look up and you see this thing just rise from the ground almost. It doesn't seem to be directing its attention toward you, but it's right in front of you.
See. Obviously, the thing to do is to give inspiration. We shall give inspiration this time to Dásos.
Right. So you...
What did I hear? What was that?
Inspiration. You are
gave me a-
inspired.
You better believe I'm gonna use it.
Good. Better.
Fire.
Inspired.
Say
Okay.
something nice about me.
How do you inspire Dásos?
Inspire me.
All right.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
Clash is just going to sing him a little ditty.
Ooh, I look
Go
forward
on
to
and
this.
kick chin, beat its face and put it in its place.
I can do that. Yeah.
So you feel inspired by this little jingle.
Yeah. I loved it.
Alrighty, so that's your bonus
I'm just
action.
imagining. I'm just now imagining a modern bard that every time he does stuff like that, it is literally just a jingle from a TV show or an advert.
No, it's that one alarm sound from the iPhone. That goes.
Anywho, so you go and you
Shit.
inspire Dásos. That's your bonus action.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, the main action. Let us do... Let's see, that won't work. Let's try this spell out. Let's do Bane on the thing.
Bards are nuts, man. All right, Bane. That is a charisma save.
Yep.
Okay. Ooh, maybe I spoke too soon. What's your spell save DC?
Oh, cheat. The spell save DC is 13.
That's a 15. Sorry.
Ooh.
Somehow, as you sing out and attempt to cast Bane on this creature, it's almost like the moment in anime when the protagonist looks at their object of interest and there's a shine of like sparkles in the background and it becomes suddenly charismatic for a moment. But unfortunately, it does manage to avoid the target of the Bane. Somehow! 18 minus 3, man. Jeez.
Okay. Can I attempt to...
That's your
roll
action and your
away?
bonus action. Yeah, so you
I know.
can stand without provoking an attack of opportunity. This is 5th ed, that you don't provoke attacks of opportunity by standing.
But I cannot roll while prone.
Oh, sure, yeah, absolutely, you can roll. Where would you like to roll? Just being aware, if you move out of its, attack range, you might provoke attack of opportunity if it wants to take it.
To get attacks of opportunity on us, we're still in. The dome stretches to the ground as well.
It doesn't go under the ground, though.
We did talk about that, yeah. Like I said, it's one of the. This is one of those weird spells that it's purely situation based on who's DMing and how it's all explained and set up. Yeah. That's why I was concerned about the smoke from the fire the first time I cast it, because man, each group it's different.
Yeah, well, so I do want to clarify. The spell description specifies dome, which means it ends at the ground. If it were a sphere, it would continue into the ground, but it's a dome, so that means it ends at the ground, and this creature's capable of, well, bit of behind the screen.
Yeah.
The creature's able to swim, and it can swim through mud, so there you go.
So, yeah, I'll have Kledash roll away from it. Rolling as far as rolling towards Efferil.
Oh, this way. Okay. So about there, so you take 2. You roll about
Sure.
10 feet. You're still inside the dome. Okay. It is going to take its attack of opportunity against you. It's going to attempt to make a slam attack again. That's a natural 20.
Oh.
So this die right here, this one, it only ever gives me shit rolls or great rolls. It doesn't give me anything in between.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel
It's
about
barbarian's dice.
it. Yeah, it's a barbarian's die, pretty much. So that is going to be... 12 points of bludgeoning damage. There's no follow-up to that, just 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
12 points of bludgeoning damage. Cool.
Nice.
Just
I'm in
as you
danger.
as you start to roll away, just poof, like a fist from the sky just slams into your side. It actually helps push you a little further, so you don't have to exert as much effort. But oh, that hurt.
This is a very painful mud bath.
Yes, and you are getting covered in mud. All right, is that going to be your turn?
Yep, I've used all my actions.
Alrighty, Dásos.
Alright, so Bardic Inspiration, I'm just gonna basically, when I attack, roll a d20 and a d6 at the same time.
Okay, well you can't attack it right
Right.
now because you're not in melee range, but
Can I get in melee range of it?
you can go 5, 15, and now you're in melee range.
Can I give him a whack?
You can give him a whack.
Alright, I'm gonna use my hands.
You're gonna make an unarmed strike?
No.
I don't know,
Obviously
man.
not. It was a good joke. Wait, so yeah, but so the Bardic Inspiration, I literally just add the d6 onto the attack. Is nothing special? It's just a...
That's just a straight d6, yeah.
Cool. Alright,
In
here we go.
addition to the rest of your modifiers, yeah.
Well, this is good. I'm really glad because I only had a 21, but now I have a 27.
Well, I'm really glad that you got a 27 on a... Yeah, you hit.
Okay, so here we go. We're gonna roll 4d6s and we're gonna add 3. 3 plus.
That's right, because it's in melee
3,
range and you don't
6,
have disadvantage. I keep forgetting that.
6,
Not that it
7,
matters, because this thing doesn't have
11.
intelligence
14.
enough to strategize. So, 14. Okay.
Yep.
So that's 28. Okay. So, with your scimitar, you go through and you actually carve through a pretty significant portion of this creature, and you your scimitar actually strikes the stone that Efferil had lit. And it doesn't knock it loose, but it just, as a point of interest, you hear a ping, and the stone just sort of like shifts inside the creature to a slightly different angle. So the shadows being cast are a little bit different.
I forgot my stone was still inside it.
Also inspired.
Yes, and you, with the surge of energy given to you by Kledash's inspiration. Is that going to be your turn?
Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
It's your turn.
I'll just stay right there.
Okay. Coming back up to the top of the initiative order, Vania. Vania.
Oh.
Are you awake?
Sorry. I'm here. Oh yeah, it's sleeping in. Let's see. 1, 15, 25. So I'm going to back up about 5 spaces behind Dásos outside of the bubble.
Okay. So, like 5, 15, 20, 25, 30?
Or behind from the perspective of the camera.
Oh, this way. So, okay. So, 5, 15... So, sorry, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30? There?
I've got one more because I can move 35, so one more space back.
One more space back. Okay. It does not get an attack of opportunity because it already used its reaction. So.
And then shoots Magoo.
Okay, he shoots Magoo on the half of it that's sticking outside.
Yep. 22.
Yeah, that hits.
For 5, 11 damage.
Okay, the arrow shoop, sinks into the creature. You actually hear it boom hit the sphere, or hit the dome rather.
Nice. Attack number 2
Okay.
is going to be a 5 plus 9, 14.
14 does not hit. So actually, it does stick into the creature, but you can see it like it caught a knot in one of the branches, and it doesn't actually like deal damage to it, unfortunately.
Okay. Turn.
Okay. Coming to the end of your turn, Tyorrgeth, it is your turn. Tyorrgeth.
Sorry, everything cut out.
Oop, there he is.
It's your turn.
Everything just cut out for a second. It's my turn.
It is.
Yep.
All right. Oh, thing's still there. I'm just gonna stab.
Okay, so go ahead and stab it. Roll for an attack.
That's a 23 after mod.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
So that is a D6. Uh, 11, and I'm gonna do extra attack after the 11.
Okay, so 11.
Mod, all right.
Yeah.
And then D6.
What was the hit roll there? You cut out.
Is it 20?
20 after mod. 22.
22 points of damage?
Just all together is 22. Everything.
Well, so I already added the points from the previous turn. What was the attack this one?
11 again.
So it was 11 again. Okay. What's the damage die of the... I think it's a short bow you have?
I'm using the short sword, which is 1d6.
The short sword.
1d6 piercing plus
You can't-
4 plus.
Well, you can't use your short sword because your short sword is a melee weapon, and you're not in melee.
I'm not in melee range. Well, then I've been doing it wrong.
Yeah, you'd have to use your bow for that.
Alright, let me check how much what the dice for bow is. For my bow is.
Short bow?
Do you have your bow? You specifically grabbed your javelins when you woke up,
Oh, wait,
not your bow.
I have the D. I have
Yeah,
a D6.
I was gonna say-
still D6 javelin.
I mean... Oh wait, no, sorry. I'm looking at the wrong... I was looking at the wrong thing. Don't worry, I was stupid. You're fine. I was looking at the wrong token because I'm an idiot.
I thought I was in melee range.
Okay, yeah, so you go and you slash through, and as you come down through the thing, you can see, like, with that strike, a lot of the leaves and stuff have started to fall away, and the majority of its form has begun to lose its shape. It's not dead, but hurt it quite a bit. Oops.
Alright, I'll pass the turn.
Is that going to be your turn? Okay. So,
I
next
ran
up,
the sphere into it from
Okay.
behind, as per usual.
you slam the sphere right in its butt. So,
Yep.
8. Has to make a dexterity saving throw. That's a -1.
11 damage.
Negative.
11 damage. Okay, so 5 damage. But it doesn't matter. So you reach out to your flaming sphere and you pull it to the side to slam into the side of this creature. And as you do, suddenly the entire creature catches flame, and in a matter of seconds burns down to cinders in front of you. And the entire creature just collapses. Partially inside and partially outside of the dome.
Neat.
But the creature is now dead. And of note, Let me flip to that page because I'm on the wrong page of my notebook. Of note, as the thing begins to collapse, you can see inside the creature. You see shining bits of metal that fall to the ground. You actually see a skeleton on the outside of the dome that collapses into the ground from probably a previous victim.
Yeesh, that's grim.
Yeah, that's very grim.
Yeah,
Can I make a check to see how long that's been there, just out of curiosity?
You can
How old that skeleton is?
You can make a medicine check.
I will. I don't know what my medicine skill is. It's not high, I don't think. Medicine. I rolled an 18.
An 18. It's probably been at least a month, if not more. Like that, it's old and it's dry, despite the dampness of the weather around you. So it's.
Is this? Would I hazard a guess and say whether to someone whether or not it's that explorer guy, the
cartographer? It is.
Yes.
It is decidedly not of gnomish form. It's.
No, I mean
humanoid.
the guys that the Kenku
Edmund,
we're talking about.
the Sir Edmund Killian.
That's him.
You don't know a lot about Sir Edmund, so it'd be kind of hard to tell.
Well, I mean, there's like metal around. Is that like his armor, or have I not searched that?
Can
I search the metal?
So the skeleton that fell did not have any armor on it, and any clothing it may have been wearing got burned with the rest of it.
Oof.
No need to thank me.
But yeah, so you, if you'd like to sort of pick through the remains of this plant creature, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
I was technically investigating the corpse for some reason, so if anyone else wants to make that roll.
Yeah. What is my investigation roll? It's a +5, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, it's +5. 25, not 20.
25. Okay. So yeah, picking through, it takes you a little bit, not as long as perhaps others, because you seem to be particularly keen of vision, and the light sphere is still around it. It's helping. You find
The fire sphere, yeah.
the fire sphere and the light, because light concentration. I don't think it is.
Light's just 1 hour.
Yeah. So the light sphere and the fire sphere both helping you. You find about 890 gold pieces, but in Electrum. So it's 16. Oh man, I gotta do math. 890 times 2. That's.
This is why I hate Electrum.
But it's entirely in Electrum, which is weird because you've never seen it just in Electrum. You do find as you're going through. So you do find as you're going through the burnt remains of like a chest of some kind, so you gather that's what it probably was in. You do also
How much
find
Electrum? Sorry?
hang on, I gotta do the I didn't write down the calculation, I just wrote how much gold it was worth.
89 times 2 is 178.
So 1780 Electrum pieces. Because Electrum is worth 5 silver, so
Okay.
it's 2 Electrum per gold. You find the remains of what would have been the chest that's carrying it, and you do also find 2 small potion vials, one of which you recognize as a potion of greater healing, which you've seen before.
Okay.
And the other is it's weird to look at when you the liquid that's inside it is mostly clear, but when you shake it, it turns into this like brackish, almost like a briny sort of like green color, and then as it settles, it becomes clear again.
Interesting. I'm going to hold out both vials, and kind of gesture with the potion of greater healing. I'm gonna say, who wants a healing potion?
I'll take it.
I toss it at. I casually toss the vial of greater healing at Dásos.
I want to check here. I want to check for this.
Okay.
Just lob a glass vial at someone. All right.
Make an acrobatics check, I guess.
Acrobatics.
For what would you say for catching a viral?
I'm not like
12.
throwing it at him. I'm like
That's a 12.
I'm like beanbag tossing it.
No,
at him.
you don't have to make the check. This is Dásos making the check because he asked
Yeah.
you. I'm not gonna say no.
Okay. No,
But
I'm in
not
response
gonna
to
make you check every
No.
time. The 12. It's
This is-
you fumble and it's like but you do manage to catch it in the end. You actually, it's one of those like you bobble it with your other hand and you kind of like almost kick it with your foot and it lands softly on the ground. So it doesn't break, but you didn't really catch it.
You disappoint me.
Ticket.
You kick it?
Alright. What? No. I said that's the ticket.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, are you kidding?
I stomp it into the ground. I asked you for this, and now I'm mad. No. That's not what I do.
Kledash, how good are you at arcane stuff?
Arcane? Not a whole lot.
Okay. Good to know. I turn towards Efferil and I toss the other potion at him. Figure out what this is.
Okay. So do you
Okay.
you go and you try to identify the potion?
What's the roll for that?
I would say make an Arcana check.
Cool. 3.
3. Not familiar with this potion, unfortunately.
Oh no, 6. 7. Sorry, I thought it was -1. I've got proficiency in this.
These are all much better.
Same result, unfortunately. It's you go to taste it, like you take your pinky and just take a small taste of it, and it tastes like salty and briny, even when it's clear. But you can't really get a feel for the potion just in the quick like 5 seconds you took to look at it.
I put it away
Okay, so you tuck it
for
away.
a more thorough investigation later.
Okay. So at this point, you're at hour 4 out of 8 of your long rest. So, I assume, do you go back to sleep? Do you just wake up and have this be part of your day? It's up to you.
I say we should probably go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Efferil hasn't had a chance to sleep yet, so we should go back to bed. Or they should go back to bed anyways. I
Put up a few
am
more arrows.
I've had my rest at this point.
Sorry,
Put
what
out
was
a
that,
few more
Kledash?
arrows.
Oh yeah, so currently there are 4 arrows that are out of the cordon of arrows because 4 of them got used as the plant entity shambled its way over.
Oh, speaking of which, how many arrows can I recover from the
Of the shambling
half,
mound, given the nature of this creature, and because it was burned to death, unfortunately, you were only able to recover 2 arrows in total.
arrows? Okay.
Unfortunately, you do find a few arrowheads. I'll say you find 4 arrowheads that you can hold on
Yeah,
to.
I would like to recover those.
But the shafts themselves are burned, and the fletching is
Okay.
gone. But you are able to recover 4 steel arrowheads.
Very nice. Okay. That is all.
Okay. So, the rest of you, with the stench of burning plant in your dome, return and resume the rest of your rest.
Before I continue my watch, I attempt to drag the corpse out of the dome.
It's so you go to grab a piece of the corpse, and it just like you grab like almost a root or a vine and drag it, but that's only one small piece of this entity. You gather that this entity is the amalgamation of several different plants and structures and forms. So in order to remove it entirely from the dome or from the space, it would take a little bit more time than just like grabbing it and dragging it.
Yeah, fuck it. It can stay.
Okay. So the rest of you bed back down with the adrenaline surging from the encounter. And the rest of you bed back down to continue the rest of your rest. Toward the end of your watch, Vania, you do notice the dome blips out. And the rest of you get an uneasy last hour of your sleep, but you are able to complete your rest. And Vania, keeping watch, I'm just using your... actually, make a perception check. Because it's after combat.
15.
15. Okay, the rest of your watch goes uneventfully. You do notice as the dome blips out above you, the rain starts to come down, and it's not comfortable. It's sticky and hot and gross. But you do finish out your rest, and it is largely uneventful. So the rest of you, what passes for morning in this space, because it's so dark, begins to light, and the rest of you awaken to begin your next day.
Yay.
Okay. Let's keep it moving.
I told Ember this separately, but I want to highlight that all my practice with Spot paid off in proficiency in animal handling with Spot. And I just realized that I'm already proficient in animal handling, so I just got nothing for it.
You got double proficiency.
You did get me not asking you to roll animal handling with Spot.
That's true, that's true.
I love.
Oh, I got
horses.
automatic animal handling. From now on, I never have to make another animal handling roll.
As long as you're riding Spot, yes?
That's definitely
Yeah.
what I said. Yep, that's definitely what I said.
Oh, I'll be riding Spot in combat all the time from now on. that last encounter with the shambling mound.
Oh yeah. It's a good thing.
I
Change your
sleep
skill to
astride
cavalry ranger.
Spot. I'm ready to go.
All right.
Just multi-class into cavalry warrior or whatever it is.
It's a fighter.
Cavalier fighter.
So
That's the one.
you complete your rest. You wake up. You take your rations, your breakfast of the rations, which, by the way, I'll say you've whoever has rations, you've had 3 days of them.
I use prestidigitation to make them taste nice because I realized that's a thing I could do and I forgot.
Okay. So you
Or
use
make
your
them taste less
prestidigitation
shit.
to make the rations taste less like hardtack and more like something palatable.
Wait,
What's up?
sorry,
Okay.
I did the thing where I turned my mic off and on a bunch of times. I do want to know what Efferil thinks constitutes tasty. I feel like Efferil probably eats some like weird shit.
That's a good question. I hadn't thought that far ahead.
Probably tastes like that salty brine he tasted.
Right, it just makes it taste like the ocean.
Is that what you'd like to
It probably tastes like his wife's cooking or something like that. I don't know.
I didn't know Efferil was
didn't-
married.
Oh yeah, shit. I mentioned that.
do? Neither did I. What?
No comment. Continue.
What?
See, this is world building. We're all learning new stuff.
All right. So the food is what's the word I'm looking for? It is it's
Brine.
it's homely. It's
Okay.
competent but bland.
Really mean. That was really, really mean to his wife. Jesus.
if I'm going down this route, it would probably taste bittersweet, shall we say?
All right.
Oh no. Foreshadowing. All right. So you have your breakfast of your rations, and you continue on your way. Kledash, if you could make a survival check with advantage, because the trail is gone. Like, the rain has wiped away any semblance of a trail. You can see on the map what the path you're supposed to be taking is, but there's no trail on the ground to follow anymore.
All right. You said survival, right?
Mm-hmm. With advantage, because I assume Vania is helping you.
23.
Yep, 23. Nice. So
Very nice.
You're able to localize where you are pretty well, the best you can given the circumstances, and you continue on your way for the rest of the day. Who is going to be keeping an eye out today? If you're going to be keeping an eye out.
Still me, Dásos. I'll still do it.
Okay.
And I'm going to redeem myself with a good roll this time. Here we go.
How are you
15 plus perception is 19.
19? Okay. Is somebody else going to be watching out? Or is it just going to be...
I'll walk.
Me out instead.
I heard two people
Yeah.
talk at once.
I was gonna say I'll do something else rather than watch.
Okay.
I'll watch.
Okay. Go ahead and roll perception.
4.
4. Okay.
Yikes.
I can tell you right now, you go through the day, and your day is uneventful. It's if anything, it's almost pleasant.
We're in complete darkness, and he is unusually unaware.
It's not
we're in complete
complete darkness. It's dim
I cast
light.
light on something.
Okay. So you go and you cast. Kledash pulls out one of his torches again, and you cast light on the top of it.
My favorite thing to come out of this session so far. Casting light on torches.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
so
the most efficient way to use a torch.
That's perfect.
so
That
you
reminds me. I've got 2 things I want to do during this. I will talk to you about it when you.
Okay.
come to
So
it.
actually, do you guys want to be doing anything while you're trudging along? Is there anything that you
I'm
want to
glad you asked.
talk to each other about, or?
Ah.
So Kledash is gonna try to learn some more Elvish.
Oh boy.
As we try to navigate. Oh boy, here we go.
Specifically, Kledash is going to ask Vania, navigation-based stuff. Vania, specific stuff like north, south, east, west. Like navigational-based stuff, like left, right, and
Sure.
I can see this going really funnily.
yeah,
We'll
it should be
do
interesting.
we'll do numbers and
Just for the sake of this, it's an easy roll, I promise. It's an easy DC. Just for the sake of it, go ahead and roll an intelligence check. Just
I don't know, man. The last couple of intelligence checks for learning Elvish have gone pretty bad.
Just for
But
the
a
sake of
19's
it.
pretty good.
19. Okay.
We're getting
Over the-
somewhere now.
I'll say that this is something that you do across the entire. This is probably going to be about 6 or 7 days of travel. With that 19, you become fluent at about a kindergarten level of Elvish. You know numbers, you know the names of the letters, and you know a couple of very basic words. You can't construct full sentences, but you know a couple of the basic words. You know the swears from before. But your diction and your intonation of the words and pronunciation is better than it was before. You're not fluent, but you're getting there. 6 days
would he
isn't
know?
really long enough. What's up?
Would he know? Would I also, since we're navigating, would I have? I hope I would teach him the basic cardinal directions as well and other navigation-based language.
Yeah, well, he specified that that's what he was asking about. So those
Right,
are
right, okay.
among the basic words that he knows.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so that's over the course of the day. Is anybody doing anything else over the course of the day or talking about anything?
Yeah, I have 2 things I
I'm
want
getting
to do.
tanked.
So I'll go Efferil. What's up?
I want to take another look at that potion with a bit more time, a bit more effort.
Sure. Yeah, with the horse, you're able to actually sit down and take a good amount of time because you can more or less use your peripheral vision to stay in line with the rest of them. You discover this is a potion of water breathing.
Yeah, I thought that might be what it was.
So I will give you the description of that in the channel in a little bit. More or less, you get an hour of water breathing per the spell. So there's that. And I believe, was it Dásos that had something?
I had another thing I wanted to do.
Yeah, I'm getting drunk.
Okay, Efferil, you had another thing, and I'll come back to you, Dásos.
Someone came up with the idea someone came up with the idea of using the light spell on the lantern, like on the wick of the lantern, to see whether or not that causes its special effect as well, or whether or not burning the oil is the thing that causes the effect.
Okay. Yeah, so
and I wanted to test that theory out.
You experiment with that. After working with the potion for about an hour, you experiment with lighting the wick using the light spell. It doesn't seem to have the same effect. You gather and you experiment with this a little bit with lighting it, unlighting it, and so on. You gather it's not the oil, but it's the fact that it's a flame inside of it that's generating this effect. So the light inside the lantern, it does function as a normal lantern, but it doesn't give you that like odd sense of extra perception. But when you light the flame, that's when you get the additional distance and that like extra like colors shift slightly as if you're seeing more than you should see.
Okay. What's a shot?
Okay. Dásos, you said you were getting drunk.
Yes, I'm drinking.
You're drinking
I have
your
all this wine.
You have a case -1, I believe. Correct? Bottle of wine.
I have 11 bottles of wine.
All right. So over the next day, you drink another bottle of wine. For the sake of it, make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh dear.
Oh!
What did we get?
It's a 1.
No more animal handling for you.
So you...
Yeah, wait, so I mean, it's +2, so it's a 3, but...
It's a 3? Alright,
Yeah.
So, Kledash, you actually notice... this wouldn't be Kledash, sorry, this would be Tyorrgeth. Tyorrgeth, you notice behind you, Dásos starts drifting a little further back, and when you look back, you see she's like quaffing this wine out of the bottle. You know what this wine is, you watched her buy it. And you're like, you don't really think much of it. You turn back, and about 20 minutes later, you look back, and Vania is just slumped, unconscious against the head of her horse.
Yeah! Yes!
Dásos.
I drank so much that Vania got drunk!
Did I say
That's
Vania?
so too cool.
Did I say Vania?
You said
Sorry.
Vania.
Ah, you
I
elves!
did it.
You half elves are all the same.
No, it's Pixies, Backsies.
I'm a full elf.
Yeah, whatever. You're all the same.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, Dásos. Tyorrgeth, you look back and you see Dásos just slumped against the head of her horse. And Spot, is pretty well trained at this point, so so Spot's keeping up. But Vania, I keep doing that. What the fuck? Dásos.
Vania can't hang.
You know what the problem is? The problem is I have to deal with keeping the minds of like 5 other players in my head. Anyway, Dásos isn't, getting any further away, but she's not directing the horse anymore. The horse is directing himself.
Which is actually more impressive.
Which is, Spot being as well trained as he is, and with the relationship that he's developed with Dásos to keep up and not just stop, is pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But Tyorrgeth, you do notice Dásos is just passed out in the seat of her horse. She didn't fall, fortunately, if you'd
Yeah.
if you'd rolled a 1 period and that would have been your skull, you made it fall. But so you go throughout the course of the day, which means unfortunately, Dásos, your perception check is.
Oh wait, yeah. Oh god. Oh no. Look, I don't know. It just
So
seems like it would have been a failing of the party rather than any individual member.
Well, here we go. No, it's fine. At about, it's just past midday, as best you can estimate. It's still raining. The rain is starting to lighten slightly, but the rain is still coming down. It's just past about midday, as best you can guess. This would be Vania and Kledash, and you come across. I'm really mad that somebody mentioned trolls and bridges because you're actually coming up to a bridge. You don't see a troll on it or under it, but there is a bridge that goes over a relatively small river. It's probably about 30 feet wide. You go up and over the bridge, and each of you makes your way over the bridge. And
Hey everybody!
and
Hey everybody!
You're
Look!
passed out still.
Look out! Look out for the troll!
Oh. Yep, Dásos is awake. So
Either
Tyorrgeth-
drunk or high.
Tyorrgeth and Efferil, you both look back to look at Dásos in her drunken rambling, or her. Yeah, she's still drunk. She woke up, she's still drunk. Ramblings.
I'm never not drunk again.
And you notice behind her, the bridge is no longer there.
What?
Like, just as if it was never there in the first place.
I'm just gonna ask Efferil. Hey, do you have any idea how that happened?
I light the lamp and point it back at the bridge.
Okay. You
Where the bridge
point
was.
back toward where the bridge was. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. There's about 30 feet of water between you and the opposite bank. That's what you can see.
Okay then. Can I make a check, an Arcana check or something?
Yeah, make an Arcana check. Just to see.
11.
11. I mean,
Can
you
I make a perception roll to notice that the bridge is out?
make a
You're
perception
drunk.
check. Make a perception check with disadvantage.
Should be a lot more than disadvantage, but
And I
I'll
will
take
say,
it.
The DC's gonna be high.
The DC changed, yeah. So Efferil, you're not familiar with anything in particular that might make a bridge disappear, unfortunately.
I got a 4.
As far
A
as you
6
know,
actually. A 6.
as far as you know,
Sorry.
nothing is out of the ordinary. You're just-
Everything's fine.
Ugh.
I have
You, Dash,
no
what is
idea.
going on back there? What are they rambling about?
The bridge seems to have disappeared.
Excuse me, what?
The bridge is
So
no
you-
longer there.
You turn to look, and you're a good distance away at this point, but you look, and the bridge you'd crossed over is no longer there.
Oh.
Because Ash, we're not lost, are we?
Checks the map.
Make a survival check.
We're in the Feylands now.
10.
Is it 10? It's hard to tell without landmarks on the map. You seem to be going the right way.
I mean, it.
Looking
As far as I
at
can tell, we're going the right way. I don't. What? We just crossed that. What?
Yeah, that's what's got me worried and confused.
I mean, we.
Maybe it's a one-way bridge.
Who makes a one-way bridge?
talking about?
One-way bridge.
Are you drunk back there? And I sort of lean over and crane my head to look at Dásos.
I've been drinking.
God, I settle back onto my horse. God damn it, he's drunk.
Can I
Gee.
can I try and read the map?
Sorry, who was that?
That was
Tyorrgeth.
I want to go over to the dragon and ask, would you mind if I try reading that?
I mean, yeah, just there's no mark showing a bridge, so I don't know what. Yeah, he hands it over.
Okay. Make a survival check, Tyorrgeth.
Right. Let's look for survival. Okay, there it is, and that's 20 with a no mods.
20. Again, you seem to be going in the right direction. You do note something that Kledash may not have immediately noticed in his panic. There is a small river marked on the map right about here. That is probably what you just crossed over.
I'll just sort of hold the map, just sort of come up to his shoulder a bit, just hold the map towards him and like point at it.
At this point, you're probably about 100-ish feet away.
What we passed over, so, and then I'll just hand back the map. Did my microphone die?
No,
I heard
you.
you.
Attention to you.
Wow, rude. No, I heard you.
What did you say?
Doesn't matter, you drunkard. Let's just keep moving.
Anyone have coffee? Someone needs to shove coffee down that woman's throat.
I just need a nap.
Is that like some fancy elvish thing? I can find berries.
Forget it. Alright, well, if we seem to be on the right track, then I guess let's keep moving, though that dissipating bridge has me worried a little, but I suppose there's nothing we can do about it.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
I'm going to ignore the obvious joke you're trying to make.
We already got there.
Alright.
And I'm going to continue on. Have the a little train of horses continue on our way.
Alrighty. So, the remainder of your day, if you continue on, the remainder of your day goes without incident. I'll say, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. The next 3 days pass largely without incident. So at this point, you'd be right about there.
When do I sober up? How long does that take?
Are you continuing to drink every day?
Less. I drink less. Like half a bottle per day.
Okay. Well, you're sober in the morning when you wake up.
Okay.
Somehow.
The elven part of your metabolism.
A lot of alcohol.
The elven part of your metabolism does keep up. When you wake up in the morning, you're sober. So
Do
over
elves
the next
have better metabolism than humans?
generally.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So he's down to 8 bottles.
So you're down to so if you're doing half a bottle each day, it'd be 10, 9. So yeah, we got 8.5 bottles of wine left. So the next 3 days come and go without incident. We're on the morning of the 6th day. Actually, so sorry,
It's
you'd be
the 9th day.
9th day. since leaving Gromkeep, really? Jeez.
Yep.
You actually be about here. You just crossed
I've
over.
been keeping track.
You just crossed over. There's a large bridge. This one doesn't disappear when you pass over it, and all of you look back, and it's still there.
Oh, thank God. Oh,
you'd probably
thank
be
God.
right about here.
The bridge is still there. Great, I blow it up.
Okay.
Just to
I
keep
get
her.
Fireball.
Just to maintain the aesthetic.
Eldritch Blast.
I don't.
So you go over the next couple of days, largely without incident.
Man, this swamp is getting to us. Now we're starting to stare at bridges. Need to get
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah.
Let's stick with the pace. I don't want to be here anymore.
On the evening of, was it the 9th day you said? I'll say Efferil. You're just in your normal arrangement. You've gotten into a good cycle of getting the Lima's tiny hut and the cordon of arrows. So I'll say Efferil, go ahead and roll your perception check for that evening.
That is a partial. I forgot my perception skill.
I'm assuming you're using your light and mage hand.
Yes. That is a 17.
17. Okay. This evening, you don't spot anything moving, but you're making your full circle all the way around. You know, send out the light, and then put it around in a slow circle so that you can see. As you're coming around to the 180 degrees from where you started, you see what appears to be either a sleeping figure or something like some kind of a humanoid figure propped up against a tree about 70 feet from your campsite.
But, sorry, I might have zoned out. Did he just appear?
Nope, you just didn't see him because you hadn't been looking in that direction. And when you put light on him, now you are able to see him visibly.
Am I using the lantern or just using a regular, my stone and mage hand?
Which would you prefer to be using?
I will be using the lantern.
The lantern? Okay, so it's just at the outer range of the lantern, but you do see him there.
I keep an eye on him.
Okay.
Because he hasn't done anything yet.
So throughout the
Can
rest
I make
of your...
like a check to see whether or not he's like actually like alive, asleep, or keeping an eye on us or something?
I'd say you'd either have to investigate, which means you get closer, or you'd have to do something to them. They don't move. You watch them and they don't move.
Can I see whether or not they're breathing?
You'd have to get a lot closer to tell that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't see that at 70 feet. That's quite a bit away.
It's about 70 feet
I mean,
away,
with a successful perception check, I probably could.
Even at that distance, I'd say. Because breathing is such a small movement.
I wake Vania. She's the one, you're the one taking the watch after me, yeah, so I wake you and point it out.
So you get to the end of your watch, you wake Vania, and you point out.
I don't wait to the end of my watch. There's a guy over there.
Okay, so this is actually pretty much at the beginning of your watch. So everybody else is just about getting to sleep. Vania is like just getting down.
If everyone's still fucking awake, then I say, what? And point to that.
They're not awake. They're like they've settled down and they're starting to doze off. Most of them are asleep. I'd say Vania, just because she's an elf,
Vania. Sorry,
doesn't really sleep per se.
Yeah, it's an elf. I'm an elf. I know how it works. So yeah, Vania, that. What do you suggest? I've broken character again. I'm really bad at doing that. That's why I try and maintain a voice, but I've managed to fuck that up a lot.
I pull out my bow. Oh
no.
And I cock an arrow, but I'm pointing it. I'm not pointing the bow downwards, but I have my arrow cocked.
Okay.
And I exit the bubble.
Okay.
And walk cautiously towards the figure.
Okay. make 2 checks for me. Make a perception check and make a stealth check.
Rolling perception first.
Okay.
21.
Alrighty.
Stealth. Double checking my stealth is a +7. Very nice. 15 on the stealth.
15. All right. So you managed to creep all the way up. You're probably about 10 feet from the figure before you decide to stop. You notice as you get closer, with your Elven Dark Vision, you get a little bit better with the light coming from the dome, because Efferil is pointing the lantern out in that direction. The figure is gaunt, decidedly lifeless, and covered in what appears to be like very fine vestments and gems, and they're carrying a pack, and there's a small pouch to one side, but the figure itself is decidedly deceased.
I'm going to put away my bow and arrow, take out my non-magical short sword, and I'm just gonna like poke, like not really poke it, but like with a little bit of force, like tip it over, like see if it falls over.
Alrighty. What's your strength score?
Strength
12?
score is 12.
You're able to do that easily enough. You kind of reach, you step a little closer, you reach carefully over with your short sword and just kind of wedge it underneath, between like the tree and its rib cage, and just roll it over. You wedge it over and it rolls over. Doesn't seem to respond.
I'm still rather suspicious of it, but at least I know it's not actively a threat. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna stop messing with it and just walk back to the camp.
Okay.
As I enter the dome, whatever it is, it seems dead. Although I am loath to investigate further while everyone has fallen asleep.
Can I still see it? From where I am?
Yeah,
Sorry,
you would have seen as Vania kind of knocked it over. It's a bit out of your perception now because it's like behind the tree that it was leaning on, but you see traces of it, and you can see like its foot sticking out the side there.
Okay. Well.
But at the very least, it's not an active threat, so I'm willing to just let it be. We can go check it out after everyone is awake.
Well, something killed it. Did he look freshly killed, or been there for a while?
Did it? Did it look fresh? Or
I'll say
I'm asking you.
While you were out there, make a medicine check. Just really quick to see if you knew.
Let's see, medicine. That's not one I roll too often. That's a +2. Okay. Thank you, dice. 19.
19. It's not fresh. You're not skilled in this area, so you can't really get a good bead on how long they've been there. But the soft tissues were degraded. The skin was gaunt. They'd been there for a while.
Nope. That corpse has been there for quite a while. I can't say how long. That's not my area of expertise, but I can at the very least tell he's been dead for a while. We don't have anything to worry about.
Could have killed him and left him in such a state. That unnerves me. Best keep a very close eye on this night.
I would hope every watch is closely watched. In any case, I'm going to go rest now.
You do that.
And I settle back in and attempt to return to my meditative sleep.
Okay. Yeah, it's easy enough. At this point, the rain has died off. It's still cloudy, so it's a little dark, but not enough to, cause disadvantage to folks who don't have dark vision. Unless it's nighttime, which it is. So, you, Vania, you return to your sleep. It's easy enough. Efferil, you keep an eye out in that direction. Nothing seems to shift or move at all. And you get to the...
in character, I'm worried that the corpses are going to come back to life somehow.
Okay, yeah, you're keeping an eye out in that direction, and every, minute or 3 minutes or 5 minutes or so, you are just sweeping over in that direction and taking a close eye, just making sure you can see that foot that you can still see hasn't moved. The remainder of your watch goes with that incident. The next 4 hours goes with that incident. The whatever it is still where it was. So your watch period comes to a close. You go and and Vania at this point is used enough to the routine. She's actually already starting to sort of return to lucidity, coming out of her trance when you go to wake her.
Yep. Well, there's nothing to report aside from the fact the thing hasn't moved, so...
I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
Rest well.
I will. I'm breaking character. Don't worry about that.
Alrighty. So Efferil, you go
Alright.
and you lean up against the side of the dome and you go into your trance, such as it is. Vania, go ahead. Is there anything you want to do before you really start your watch?
Not particularly. The arrows are set up, and
Yep.
no,
You're-
not particularly.
Of note, your cordon of arrows has not gone off. None of the 8 arrows have gone off.
Okay.
Yep. Go ahead and make a perception check.
16.
16. Okay. Keeping an eye out, you do know the entity that you had examined before is just out of your dark vision range of 60 feet, but you don't notice anything coming in toward you over the course of your watch. The next 4 hours go on without incident. You actually hear a couple of birds have sort of perched above you. You look up and it's a sort of small flock of ravens, actually. They all kind of caw at each other as you are all waking up. Sound doesn't transmit through the dome very well, so it doesn't really disturb the rest of you as you wake, but as the morning begins to progress and the rest of you begin to wake up, Efferil, you come up out of your trance. You each, in turn, eventually hear a muffled of the birds that are above the dome.
Are they landing on it?
No, they're just up in the trees above the dome.
I take a closer look at birds.
Okay. Yeah, you come out of your trance and you look up. As it is daytime, it's easy enough to see them. They are relatively... They're not looking great. They're not very healthy, but they are ravens of some kind. Nothing incredibly of note of them. One of them seems to sort of look at you and examine the dome, but more or less they just kind of appear to be there for the sake of convenience.
Sake of plot. Alright.
Make a nature check.
Don't remember my nature skill, even though it's right here. Oh, 6.
6. It's
Yeah.
probably about how ravens act.
Alright. Then I think nothing more of it.
Okay. Alrighty. So as you guys are waking, the morning passes on. So those of you with rations and those of you without rations get rations from somebody else because you now have 4 days of rations that you need to have eaten. You go and you have your breakfast.
We've been out how many days
Hey,
out here, Looming? Because apparently I only have 7 days worth of rations.
This would be what, 9?
We have 2 Outlanders. They can scavenge for food.
Yeah, we probably need to start scavenging for
Yeah,
food.
so
Yeah,
Vania,
Technically, this morning is day
Yeah,
10.
I'm an Outlander. So I'll
Vania-
scavenge for food.
Who's the other outlander? I believe it's Tyorrgeth is the other outlander, right?
Yeah. Tyorrgeth is an outlander farmer.
So are each of you just going out every so often and getting edible food?
Yeah, like stuff.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, so between Tyorrgeth and Vania, they're each able to get rations for, I think, up to 8 people a day. So it's relatively... It's not great food. It's like mushrooms and edible plants. And like Vania, being a trapper, is a little bit better. You occasionally get some kind of a bird or a squirrel or some other small rodent animal. The game is not incredibly plentiful, unfortunately.
Well, fortunately, it tastes good.
Yeah. A certain someone
Tastes better.
prestidigitates it to make it taste better. Yeah, so the next... ow, 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 ow. My foot just fell asleep for some reason. So that'd be land you about
It
here.
failed its saving throw.
Yes, I failed my Constitution saving throw. My foot fell asleep. Yeah, so... Kledash. Make a survival check with advantage, please.
Actually, before we leave camp,
Yep.
I'd like to investigate the corpse
Okay.
that we found against the tree.
Alrighty. Yeah,
I
so you...
follow you.
As the dome blinks out, you take that as your cue to sort of head over toward where the corpse or the entity had been.
Before I leave to do so, though, I'm going to tell the camp, hey, last night, Efferil and I found a corpse with some treasure, we found a corpse out there. We're gonna go investigate. We'll yell if something comes up, and then I go.
Okay.
And then
And-
I go.
And Efferil,
You
you
found
go
a
with.
corpse?
I think he's just following me.
So Dásos, yeah.
This is Dude, you just want to go by your... What do you mean you found a corpse?
Come and have a look.
Okay, alright, I'll go along.
Oh, you're talking about Dásos, not Efferil.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to follow, because I'm confused by the corpse.
Okay. So each of you makes your way over. I'll say, Vania, go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage. Because you have a number of
4
eyes
people
looking at
helping
this. Yeah, you have a number of eyes looking at this, so...
19.
19? Alrighty. Yeah, on the...
Excuse me, 17.
17? That's fine. That's enough. On it, you find
Wonderful.
the pack is a standard explorer's pack with each of the belongings that's inside there. You also find 127 gold pieces on the entity, 210 electrum pieces. Are you sensing a theme? And in the small pouch to the side, so the vestments that they're wearing, they're not in great shape, but they haven't really been damaged by the time out there. They appear to be made of like almost like a cloth of gold type material. It's very gaudy and surprising that you would have found something like that out here. And in the pouch to the side, there are a number of potion vials that are crushed, unfortunately. A few that are crushed and useless. And you find one potion vial that is intact. There's a small red bead inside of it, and as you watch, it expands to fill the space and contracts again. There doesn't seem to be
These
any other...
potions are really unnerving in the descriptions.
There doesn't seem to be any other fluid, just a small little red bead that expands and contracts as you watch it.
What color is this? What color is this vial?
The violet...
No, it's a bead.
The
Or
fluid,
the fluid, rather.
The fluid or the bead inside the vial is like a deep maroon or a crimson. Very, very deep red.
I investigate.
I thought the bead was red, and
So there's no fluid in the vial, it's just the small bead that appears to be of like a fluid-ish material that expands and contracts.
I'm gonna take my non-magical sword and try to just separate that from the body. I don't want to touch it with my hands.
Okay, so you flip open the little pouch and you empty its contents, the broken glass and the one vial, and you take your short sword and scooch it along the ground away from the body. In the pouch is also a rolled up scroll.
Wouldn't the scroll be covered in?
It's definitely stained. It's not in a great shape, but it's
let's
rolled
investigate
up.
the scroll.
Yeah.
Also, I want to investigate the potion, but there's scrolls now here, so we'll investigate that first.
Okay.
Sorry.
I didn't write. Really, I didn't write down this. I didn't write down what it was.
Hey, we'll investigate the scroll next session then. How about that?
I actually know what it's supposed to be. So let me get the actual description. But yeah, you go and you investigate the scroll. Efferil, make an Arcana check, please.
Why do I not have my Arcana skill memorized at this point? 19.
19. Alrighty. Yeah, as you are... Oops, I didn't have my filter up. As you are taking a look at it...
Actually, it's 2 o'clock. How about we investigate these things after the session?
Although I have it right here. So it is a scroll of Fox's Fangs, which is it's a Warlock spell.
That's a new one.
And I'll give you the description to it after the session, because it's just about time. So.
Yep.
But that's what you find on it. There's also that small pouch and the pack itself. So, apart from the actual valuables per se.
You said it was an explorer's pack, right?
Correct.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, I managed to miss an entire sentence somehow. I'm copy pasting it.
Alrighty, so as you guys finish up examining around the corpse, I'll say Vania, because you're sort of investigating the corpse. You were the one that rolled the initial check. You look around. You don't see any immediate cause of death, as it were. Like you're very aware, and you're looking around for more of the entities that attacked you earlier, and you don't see anything that sort of falls into that description.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, because it is 9, it is time to end the session. So I will end the session there. We'll say, for the sake of brevity, you have retrieved all that you can out of this entity, this corpse.
Can we get a proper loot list sometime later?
Yeah, I'll get you that tonight. Actually, I can get you it right as soon as the session's over. So.
Packet time.
Okay.
Alrighty. So. Yeah. So that's the end of the session. So. Thank you guys for coming and playing. Our next Monday session is going to be on May 18th. Our next Thursday session, because I run a Thursday group that's in the same campaign setting but a different campaign. They're going to be on May 14th. So as always,
May the 14th be with you.
Yeah, May the 14th be with you. It doesn't work so well, but anyway. As always, thank you guys so much for coming, and thank you guys for coming and watching. Everyone, have a good night. I hit the wrong button. End stream.